Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, trick, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like, fuck it, where my mask at? Then mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side manage shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again. Rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound. And I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show. Homie, I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you holler and cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live. Got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at. And bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, but fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga. It'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right, y'all. That's my brother Eric, 16 to Life, and definitely check him out. Go to 16 to Life, go to his YouTube page, and go to his website, 16tolife.com. You can get a lot of his merchandise over there. I do have permission. For those that are wondering, I do have permission to use this song in its totality. So I do have his permission. But he's just a good dude, man. Good dude. And brother lived 24 years in the California penitentiary, man. And man, dude came out, and said, "Hey, I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna get my stuff together and try to help young dudes not go in." So let's give him some love, and try to support the brother. And because he's a good dude, man. Funny cat, man. Funny cat. Needs to go into comedy, man. Really funny dude. But anyway, let me shout out to y'all in the chat. Sister Glenda, man, glad to see you. Haven't seen you in so long, but miss you and your husband, man. Glad to see you guys back, coming around again. Good to see you. Good to see you. Shout out to you. If I didn't tell you Happy Mother's Day, Sister Glenda, Happy Mother's Day to you. One Community, glad to see you in the building, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Brother Daryl. Good to see you, man. Hope you're feeling a lot better, man. Hope you're feeling a lot better, Daryl. I know you were going through it, but hope you're feeling a lot better, man. All right, what's on today? Oh, let me take this off. What's on today's agenda? What's on today's agenda? Well, y'all seen it. What do all these people have in common, man? What are all the people that we have in common, right? What did Kevin Samuels, MLK, Tupac, Barry White, Amy Winehouse, Bob Marley, Michael Jackson, what did they all have in common? Well, we don't know for sure about Kevin Samuels, but the rest of them had issues with their estate planning. What do I mean? I mean, they either didn't have a will, or they had a will that wasn't updated, or they didn't have trust, or what if they had some type of issue in their estate planning that wasn't set up properly. Michael Jackson's estate just got settled last year, and he died in 2009. And this estate just got settled last year, right? But and really, who wins in that situation? The lawyers. They're the ones that are going to rack up all the charges against the estate. Shout out to my brother Vaughn. Good to see you in the building, brother Vaughn. Yeah, man, who's going to win? Brother Anderson, good to see you in the building, sir. I was going to say all black now. Amy Winehouse is not black. Amy Winehouse is not black. Shout out to you, brother Anderson, man. You might need some glasses like me, brother. Amy Winehouse was not black, but nice try. but yeah, man, they all had this issue, right? Well, before I go into that, man, let me tell y'all something before y'all see it out there in the street. I had an issue, because I just was on another platform. Shout out to AR, shout out to Arshawn. I was just on their platform, and people might think I have a hard feelings, and I don't. You know what I mean? I know that I kind of went off on AR, kind of went off on the people over at Sahel Speaks, but man, I'm telling you, my heart is done with it. I'm done. I look at everybody as, man, it's water under the bridge, and if I was to see them in the YouTube streets, I'd be like, nothing ever happened. You know what I'm saying? And so you guys might want to clown me over it. Trust me, I don't have no issue with it. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? You guys, but make it funny. Don't do nothing crazy and not make it funny. I think AR and them may. No, Vaughn, I'm not going off on nobody no more. They just made a song about me going off on AR, right? So, but I don't have no problem with it, man. I could take a joke. You know what I'm saying? Just make it funny. That's all I want. Just make it funny. You know what I mean? Don't make it sorry. Make it funny, man. That's all. But I don't have no problems with AR. We don't have no problems. Sir Hale and all of them guys over there, we don't have no problems. So before you hear the street, but Clarence, they making a song about you. I already know. I was just over there. I already know. I was laughing about it too. So you know what I'm saying? I was actually laughing at myself. How silly I look going off on a man I don't even know. So anyway, but yeah, I already know about it. But appreciate you, Brother D. Good to see you in the building, man. Brother D says, "What up, Clarence? The thing they will all have in common is they all sold their souls to the devil for riches and fame. Look how they all died. They used drugs and stuff to cover up what really happened. Well, we don't know what happened with Kevin Samuels. We don't know what happened with the brother. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's not public information right now. So We don't know. Hopefully, man, it wasn't an issue. Now, I do agree with you on this, D. Their lifestyles were very stressful, and most of them were self-medicating. I will agree to that. I will agree to that. But with Kevin Samuels, we don't know really yet what's going on. Shout out to brother New Growth, Old Soul. Shout out to you, brother. But what they all had in common, D, is they had estate planning issues, right? For example, let me see what Brother Bond said. Brother Bond said, I guess the one thing they all had in common is they were all in the public eye. That's one of the things that they all had in common, but that's not the thing I'm talking about today, Vaughn. I'm talking about them having estate issues where, I mean, like I said, Michael Jackson died, what, almost 20 years ago, right? Well, not 20, I'll say almost 13 years ago, right? But his estate just got settled last year. He died in 2009. His estate got settled in 2021 because there was so many people trying to get to the pie, right? Who's going to make money when your estate is paying all these fees? Because the estate has to pay the fees, the lawyer fees, right? The lawyers keep the thing going forever, right? They keep the thing going forever, and the lawyers make the money. That's what 13 years of lawyers' fees extra they got out of that. If he would have had everything set up the way it's supposed to be set up in the beginning, it never would have happened. It never would have happened, right? James Brown was another. Thank you, brother New Growth. That James Brown was another one that it was a ridiculous situation, right? A ridiculous situation, man, where everybody was coming out of everywhere trying to grab some money from that man's estate. And so when that happens, the legitimate people, their stuff gets slowed down because all these other people start coming out of the woodwork saying, well, he promised me this. Another sad situation is Barry White. Holy smokes. Let me show you guys how bad the Barry White situation was. Holy smokes. Let me the Barry White situation was so ugly, man. I'm gonna read you guys an article about Barry White, man. Yeah, man, it was real ugly. Let's see. Barry White, the importance of regularly updating your will. Barry White died in 2003 at the age of 58. He left behind 2 ex-wives, a long-term partner, and 9 children. Holy smokes. Although his estate was estimated to be worth $20 million, Barry White had not updated his will for many years. Although Barry White and his second wife, Glodine, had been separated for many years, they had not divorced. Therefore, Glodine inherited his estate. Oh, man. Okay? So, you guys see, it wasn't the first wife, which she wasn't even in the picture no more, but the life partner, the girl that came after this chick, Glodine, she didn't get nothing. Glodine, the second wife, who he never updated his will or trust or whatever, she got everything. And he wasn't even living with her. He was living with this other chick. His partner, Catherine Denton, received nothing. And she had a baby with him. I think she had a baby that she just had a baby with him right before he passed away. Catherine took court action against Glodine for a share of the estate, as she had always been told by Barry she would have enough money to live off for the rest of her life and could continue to live in their house in Los Angeles. And she had given birth to daughter Brianna 4 weeks before Barry died. The court ordered that Brianna undergo a DNA test to prove her paternity. The test proved that Barry did not father the daughter. Ouch! Holy smokes! Glodine allowed Catherine to live in the couple's home, but she received little else from the estate. Barry's eldest daughter, Denise, discovered that he was her father 8 years after the will was written. When she told Glodine that she planned to secure her right as an omitted child, she was told that she would receive her share of the estate just like the other beneficiaries. Over a period of 10 years, Denise received irregular payments from the White Family Trust in various amounts, receiving more than $350,000. So what, 35 grand a year? Not bad. For free. Then she was suddenly cut off. Similarly, Barry's son Daryl commenced action against Glodine to view Barry's will and have the estate properly accounted, claiming that Glodine misled him by claiming that he would not worry about asserting his rights to the estate and promised to distribute his share of the estate on a monthly basis. After 10 years of payments became sporadic and then they ceased. White was overweight for most of his adult life and suffered from related health problems. He had been admitted to the hospital as a result of high blood pressure and canceled tour dates owing to ill health. In September 2002, he was hospitalized with kidney failure, attributed to chronic diabetes and high blood pressure. While undergoing dialysis and awaiting a kidney transplant in May 2003, he suffered a severe stroke, which forced him to retire from public life. It is interesting that Barry did not update his will, even though he suffered from such bad health. That should have been the first thing he did, right? However, it is an illustration of the need to update your will when circumstances change. You don't have a will, you should prepare one. Your will directs how you wish your estate will be distributed at the time it was created. This may not reflect your wishes several years later. A will helps protect your loved ones from disputes and litigation arising following your death. Ouch. Ouch. That's another one. Thank you, New Growth. DMX, that's another one. That's another one that was out of pocket. That's another one that was out of pocket. DMX did not have a will. And he's got what? Almost 20 children? Or is it 10? 10 or 20 children fighting over their estate. I mean, like I said, I know I cleaned out the house, right? Because I'm talking about estate planning, right? But in the black community, people don't want to talk about it, man. People don't want to talk about it. I guess everybody think they're gonna live forever instead of making plans for this stuff. I had a teacher, I had a martial arts teacher. He said, if you're not planning to win, you're planning to lose, right? You're planning to lose. And I know most black people look at it like this. Well, let them work it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be gone, so I don't care what happens. Let them work it out. But how can you say you really love the people if you're not you don't plan for them, right? Right? The best example of that is God, right? God said, hey, I have a plan for you. I brought you here, and I didn't bring you here for nothing. I got a plan for you. Here's a whole book. Here's a whole instruction book just for you. Just so you can see how I want things to go. I don't want you just bumping your head in the dark around here. This is what you should do, right? Brother Vaughn says, my wife was a dialysis nurse, and she would take care of Barry White throughout his dialysis treatment. Oh, man. Yeah, dialysis ain't no joke. Check it from somebody who knows that. Dialysis ain't no joke, man. Dialysis is no joke. Let's see. Yeah, man. Barry White was not. The last time I had really saw him, he was not good, man. He did not look good, man. He did not look like he really took care of himself. You know what I mean? I mean, we gotta really start doing better as black people. I mean, all people really, but black people really, we just, for some reason, man, we just think we're gonna live forever, man. Oh man. Shout out to Sister Reza. Good to see you. Good to see you, Reza. Mother Vaughn said my wife herself was on dialysis and received a kidney. Good for her. Good for her, Vaughn. Good for her, man. Good for her. Congratulations, man. I hear that, I know for a fact it's a lot of people. I've known a lot of people been on dialysis, and man, myself, man, I have been through some real serious kidney problems, man. So I understand. But yeah, man, it's tough out there. It's tough. But why don't we plan our estates? We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to do better. We got to update and you got to update your stuff every couple of years, right? Because things might change, right? Things change. We got to update our stuff. We got to see. Here's the thing, man. We are not planning our estates, and then we got people that fight over everything. I mean, you see the James Brown situation, man. This person fighting, this person people crawling out of everywhere on the James Brown situation, right? Same thing with the DMX situation. Same thing with the Barry White situation. Bob Marley passed away, no will, brother. His mother, who could have profoundly used some of that money, she got zero. She got zero. You know how Bob Marley passed away? Bob Marley had an infection on his foot and wouldn't go to the doctor to deal with it. He thought he could smoke it away. He thought he could smoke it away, man. That infection on his foot ended up killing him. But that's what I'm saying, man. You know, at some point we gotta be willing to listen to the truth, man. We gotta be willing to hear the truth and say, okay, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Right? This ain't gonna work, man. Here's another one. Tupac Shakur. Let me tell you guys what happened to Tupac Shakur, man. That's another one that holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. People just fighting over the state, right? Tupac Shakur. Sister sues executive of rapper's estate for embezzlement. Ouch. His sister, Zakiya Shakur, alleges that Tom Whaley unreasonably enriched himself with $5.5 million from the record label founded by Tupac's late mother, Afeni. Tupac Shakur's sister sued longtime executive of the rapper's estate, accusing him of embezzling funds. As a matter of fact, let me do this. See, let me make it so y'all can see what's actually happening, man. Not just me. Okay, there we go. Tupac Shakur's sister sued the longtime executive of the late rapper's estate, accusing him of embezzling millions of dollars. In a lawsuit filed Monday in the Los Angeles Superior Court, Zakiya Shakur, Tupac's sister and the daughter of Shakur's mother, Afeni, and the Tupac Shakur Foundation accused Tom Whaley, who has been the executor of Tupac's estate since Afeni's death in 2016, of taking $5.5 million over the past 5 years from Amaru Entertainment, a record label founded by Afeni and now managed by Whaley, that is charged with Tupac's classic LPs and posthumous albums. Whaley has already received more than $5.5 million. He has paid himself in the past 5 years through Amaru. The lawsuit states he has effectively embezzled millions of dollars for his own benefit, well in excess of what would be reasonably necessary to retain a properly qualified third party to perform such services. As a result, Willie has reasonably enriched himself at the expense of the beneficiaries in bad faith, taking excess compensation in a position from which he should properly be barred based on the inherent conflict of interest. Tupac left his estate to Afeni, his mother, as a sole beneficiary upon his shooting death in 1996. When Afeni died in 2016, all of her tangible personal property was left to Zakiya, who argued in a new lawsuit that that should include the items that Afeni inherited from Tupac. However, according to Zakiya, the Whaley-run estate is withholding those items for investment purposes. Among those items are Tupac's cars, a multitude of plaques and awards, Tupac's pinball games, Tupac's renowned jewelry, Tupac's artworks and sculptures, items of Tupac's clothing, shoes, accessories, and furniture taken from his homes upon his demise. The lawsuit states. See, this is how you get caught out here. This is how you can get caught out here. And I'm only saying this because it's a lot. Most of the time it's us as black people. We don't take the time to plan our estate properly, right? Anything can happen, right? The lawsuit also cites numerous instances of alleged malfeasance, including allowing the sale of an estate-owned houseboat to benefit one of its trustees instead of the trust itself. Ay, ay, ay. See, this is what happens, man, when you don't plan for this stuff. These lawyers are going to just step in and, man, they're going to do what they want to do. They're going to get rich. They're going to get rich. The Queen's lawyers, Donald David and Joshua Mendel also accused the Tupac estate of not sharing financial information with the nonprofit Tupac Shakur Foundation, of which Zakia is the president. The estate has argued that the foundation is not entitled to that information. David Mandel did not respond to Rolling Stone's request for comment at the press time. Lawsuit asks because Zakia and the Tupac Shakur Foundation have yet to receive an accounting complaint with the terms compliant with the terms of the trust and the governing law. They do not know the full scope of Whaley's malfeasance and misfeasance. But it is clear that he has used and abused his power as executor and special trustee of the estate of the trust to convert the personal property belonging to Zakia as a piggy bank from which he has drawn substantial funds for his own benefit. Okay. Now, let me tell y'all, all of this bickering and everything could have been stopped by Tupac, right? But what did he do? What did he do? It's hard to now I will admit this. It's hard to talk estate planning to a 26-year-old black man who's living a high life. You know what I'm saying? Running all over the world, running all over the country, singing and dancing. It's hard to, say, hey, bro, anything can happen. I think Tupac would have been, somebody should at least step to him and say, hey, brother, you got a couple slugs in you still. Some things could happen. But I guess he thought, man, I got all these slugs. I'm carrying all this metal around in me. I'm invincible. And they can't do nothing to me. Anybody, let me tell y'all something, man. Anybody could fall. Anybody could catch it. Anybody could catch one and fall. So don't be thinking, oh, I ain't gonna happen to me. Anything can happen to any one of us. We all got to do better. I got to do better. I got some things in place, but I got some things in place that need to be updated. So I'm not only talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself, right? Brother Negro said there was a movie, Frankie Lyman was another one. Frankie Lyman was another one, right? Why do fools fall in love? Dealt with the same exact thing. Thank you, Brother Negro. That was another one, and that was even uglier, right? With the last wife, it's 3 wives. He had 3 quote unquote wives, right? The last wife, she played all of the rest of them so well. She played them like, oh yeah, let's work together. Let's get this thing set up. And then once they got to court, man, she screwed everybody, man. She walked out of there with everything, right? Because it's not he didn't take care of him. Frankie Lyman was a junkie, right? I mean, sorry to talk about the dead, man, but he was proven, right? And they knew it, and they still hung in there with him. But I'm saying, he didn't plan for his estate properly, right? If you don't plan for your estate, and I'm talking about black people, most of us, we don't. Hopefully, Brother Kevin had something in place. But what if he didn't? Then what? And I know most of these guys don't. Because I know how black men think. I'm going to live forever. You think Kevin thought he was going to have an issue that day that unfortunately he passed away? No. Nobody thinks they're going to go the day they go. Not unless you at a certain age. But the guy was what, 56? 53 or something like that, 54. I'm sure he thought he had at least another 20 years, right? But like most black men, did he go to the doctor? If you asked him, when's the last time you've been to the doctor? He probably hadn't been to the doctor in at least over 10 years. Right? Why? Because black men, we don't go to the doctor. We scared they're going to tell us something that we need to deal with. We don't want to hear it, so we just don't go. I'd give black women, at least they'll go to the doctor. At least they'll find out what's going on and try to do something about it. Black men, we just have such fear of doctors. We just won't go. Because we don't want to hear them tell, hey, look. Because I'm going to tell you the real reason why black men don't go to the doctor, especially after a certain age. After like 40, we don't want to go to the doctor because we don't want a doctor to tell us we got something going on, downstairs. We don't want to hear that. Doctor say, hey, you know what? We got to go in there and take care of something. Black men don't want to hear that. They'd rather die on the battlefield than hear it in the doctor's office, right? But we got to get better at it, man. And we can do a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff we can do about this stuff, right? We can eat healthier, drink better, drink more water, exercise. But we just get so stressed out. We get so stressed out. We're not thinking about all of these different things, right? I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, New Growth, man. The Frankie Lyman situation was terrible, man. How she played them people, that was terrible. But she wouldn't have been able to do that if he had everything all laid out, right? If he had it all laid out, he would have been able to do all of that stuff. And even if you have it all laid out, man, people are going to fight that, right? But when they lose, they got to pay their own lawyer's fees, right? Most of us, it take a few minutes, man. It take a few minutes, not a few minutes, maybe a couple of hours to sit down with somebody and prepare your situation, especially us as men. Us as men, we need to, we got to prepare these things, right? You got a retirement package. You got your Social Security. Where's all this stuff going to go? If you don't tell the government where to go, the government's going to take it and they're going to decide what to do with it. That was my point about Kevin. Did he have a will? Did he have a trust? Did he have an estate? We definitely know he had things of value in his life, I'm sure. I mean, just the clothes alone, right? Did he have an estate? Did he plan? Who's going to get his stuff? Right? Well, if he has certain things set up, it will go straight into the hands of his loved ones, right? But when you don't have things set up, what happens? You have what is called probate, right? If you pass away, unfortunately, you have what is called probate. And in a probate situation, you don't know what's going to happen. You know how long it's going to take. You don't know what's going to happen. Right? I mean, you don't know what's going to happen, man. You don't know. Like I said, Michael Jackson passed away in 2009. His estate just got settled last year. Last year. So, 13 years that them kids are supposed to be getting payments. They wasn't getting them. Or I don't know. Let me say I don't know. But it's not documented that they were getting those payments. I think they were supposed to each get $33 million or something like that, or whatever. And they were supposed to be getting a monthly stipend until they turned 21, or until they turned 30. They're supposed to get a monthly stipend until they turn 30. But is there any documentation? Now, I'm not saying they won't get what that money having added up, and they're going to get, the total sum of that money. But lawyer's fees going to eat away at that, right? I mean, if you're paying a lawyer for 13 years, those fees are going to add up, right? And I don't think Michael Jackson have, paralegals working on this situation. He has some pretty, we talk about $700, $800 an hour people working on that situation, right? Not good. What's going to happen when you unfortunately leave us? When I unfortunately leave, what's going to happen? If we don't plan, guess what? You're going to give most of the money. You're going to get like 45% to the government. 45% of this of your estate is going to go to the government. They're going to charge you an inheritance tax. They're going to charge you taxes, income tax. They're going to have so many taxes, man. That's why we're talking about this now, man. So we could tell, hey, there's ways of protecting your family and protecting your loved ones. I am not an attorney. I'm not giving you legal advice. The only advice I'm giving you is to look into protecting your family by going to a qualified estate planner. Qualified. You don't want to be messing with somebody that, one of them jack of all trade type dudes. Oh yeah, I do trust, wills, roofs, right? I'm a electrical contractor. You don't want to go to that kind of guy. You want to go to a person that know what they're doing, man, because it's very important. There's places like California. If you have a trust and it has real property involved in the trust, you have to record it, right? You have to record that trust. I don't know. You got to check with the laws in your state how you have to deal with a trust or deal with a will. But in California, if you have you have any real property in trust, you have to record that. You have to record that with the county, right? So we talking about all these people that had all these issues. And then what did they all have in common? They all had in common they had estate issues. They had estate issues. So here's my question. And I'm going to put the link out there. First of all, I got to send a link to Rico. Let me send Rico a link real quick. But my question to you guys is, why don't we plan? I've been talking about, in particular, the Black community. I think the white community is a little better at it than we are. Shout out to them. They're just a little better at it than we are. But why don't we do it? Why don't we do it? What are we afraid of? What are we afraid of by not completing our final expenses, right? We've all seen those people that are, on the corner out here on Crenshaw. We have, every Saturday or Sunday is somebody out there with the big signs, can you donate money to bury our cousin, our mother, or whatever, right? Why is it like that? Why is it like that? It's like that because people haven't planned. People haven't planned. I remember when I bought life insurance for the whole family. I bought life insurance for our whole family. And I was like, the lady was like, you're doing a good thing because, you never know. And I was like, yeah, I thought when I was buying, she had to convince me because when I first started buying life insurance for my sons, they were very small, right? And so in my mind, I was like promoting the fact that something could happen to them. But no, the lady had to tell me, no, this is not that. This is just protecting you in case something happens to them. The good news about this is something that you are paying for that you hopefully never use. This is something that you hoping you never have to use it. And in the end, once you pay it off, it's there. You don't have to worry about it no more. But at the time, I was like, man, am I speaking into the universe that I want something bad to happen to my children or myself or my wife? No. I had to understand, I had to learn, I had to evolve from that thinking process to realize, hey, no, man, you're just protecting the people around you. You got to protect the people around you. If you don't, how you call yourself a man? How you call yourself a man and you ain't protecting the people around you, especially the people in your own home? Well, I ain't got no life insurance. I don't need to get no life insurance. Why not? I got a son right now, man. He crazy as moonshine. I keep trying to tell him, I said, brother, you gotta get some life insurance. You got to. Oh, pops, I'll do that later. I'll do that later. Man, come on. How much? What's gonna happen? Especially the lifestyle you living. I got one son, man. You know what I mean? Just go to show you, man. You could teach 3 different children in the same house under the same rule, and one will be one way, and you're gonna have a rebel, and one of them gonna be a rebel. My oldest boy is a rebel. His mentality is so far streetwise that he doesn't even think about protecting it. I mean, of course he'll physically protect his daughter, but I mean he doesn't think like I should have something on paper just to say where I want my belongings to go, right? Because if you pass away without having something in writing that says what you want things to go, which is a will, typically, what's going to happen? Let me tell y'all what's going to happen. If you pass away and you don't have anything written down, documented the way you want things to go, the government is going to step in. Remember, you had a birth certificate? Remember, you got that little piece of paper, that birth certificate? Birth certificate, right? Okay, once you file that in the state that you're living in, what you have told the government is you are authorizing the government, if anything should happen to you and there's nobody else is able to step up and do anything for you legally, they're going to do it. That's what that certificate tells them. That lets them know, okay, watch out for this person. If this person passed away, we can step in there and probate their estate. Whatever they got, real property, personal property, whatever you got. Is that what you really want? If you're a high value man, like my brother, Kevin Samuels, if you're a high value man and you die with no will, where's this money going to go? It's going to go to the same institution that you say you don't want involved in your affairs, right? Especially in the custody affairs and everything. You don't want that, but you're going to feed that dragon because they're going to take 45% of your estate. Inheritance tax, income tax. I mean, all these taxes that you're going to have to pay. I mean, that's money that didn't have to go that way, right? Sister Glenn says, all my adult children and grandchildren were on the Gerber Life program from day one. Now we have whole life policies. My youngest grandson is on Gerber Life. He's 9 months old. Right on, Sister Glenda, right on. See, you know what? See, women, y'all are smarter than us as black men. Y'all think, see, we as black men, we think we're going to live forever. We're going to live forever. We're going to live forever. and we find out on the day, we find out on that day, right? That's not how it's going to go. Sister Risa says, a bunch of mess. I am going through it now, still fighting with VA and insurance companies. Just stuff be screwed up. Mom left no will. Yeah. So now you got to fight with relatives. You got to fight with the VA. You got to fight with all these people. And sometimes I was lucky enough when my mom passed away. She told me everything already. She said, this is where this is. This is where that is. So she was telling me a couple of years before it actually happened. We didn't expect it to happen when it happened, but because she seemed to be in such good health. But it happened, right? Just like that, boom. But Like I said, anything can happen, and it's better to have have it set up and not have to use it and have to go back and revisit it every couple of years than to have nothing. We have nothing, man. Your family is out there swinging in the wind. Swinging in the wind. Is that where you want your family swinging in the wind? Spending all this money. Because, I mean, who's going to pay those lawyers' fees? The estate. You ain't got $30,000 a month or $10,000 a month or $5,000 a month just to give some lawyers out of pocket. You ain't got that kind of money. So who's going to pay it? The lawyer's going to say, that's okay, we're going to build an estate. And when the estate finally gets settled, the lawyer's going to say, oh, here's my bill. They're going to throw their bill in there. Here's my bill for $350,000. For what? Well, we've been working with your estate for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, right? Here's my bill. And so what's the probate court going to do? They're going to pay all the bills first. They're going to pay the taxes first. They're going to pay the lien holders first. And then they're going to pay the taxes first, the lien holders second, and they're going to pay the any outstanding bills, they're going to pay third. Is that what you want? Or you want to have your estate put together to where it seamlessly moves from you to someone else. It's seamless. I got to give my mom credit. She set up her situation where it was seamless. It was basically seamless. We didn't have wasn't a whole lot to fuss over or nothing or try to figure out what's going on. It was pretty much seamless. Right? But a lot of our people don't. So now I'm asking the question, why don't we? I'm going to put the link out there, man. I want to find out, why don't we as Black people, why don't we let me put it out there. Okay. Yeah. Why don't we, shout out to one community, by the way. I didn't even shout him out. Shout out to one community. Why don't we estate plan? What's wrong with us as Black men? We do two things we just don't do. We won't go to the doctor and we won't plan our estate. What's wrong with us? Why are we looking at this thing like it's a game? But see, I know what a lot of Black men say. You know what they say? F it. Let them fight over it. I won't be here. Let them. That's on them. How can you say you love your people, man, when you got people depending on you? Barry White had a child. Well, he didn't have a child. I say that back. The girl told him he had a child. The court made the girl get a DNA test, and the child was not Barry White's child. Holy smokes, you've been living with this woman. This woman had a baby for you right before you passed away, told you it was it was yours. She's living in your house. It's not your baby. The court made her go and get a DNA test, and it was not Barry White's child. How you like that? How you like that, y'all? I'm sure Barry White was like, dog, man. But what did he care? He ain't there no more. The point is, the ex-wife, the second wife, ended up getting everything. The wife he left and never divorced, she the one got everything. The woman he was actually living with and been living with for years, after he left the second wife, zilch, she did get something. The wife let her live in the house that Barry White and her was living in. Let her stay in that house. But she basically got nothing else, right? Well, she tried to say this is Barry White's child. She said, this is Barry White's child here. Court made her go get a DNA test. It is not Barry White. You are not the father, Barry White. You are not the father. Man, she lucky Barry wasn't around for that one. Barry White would have put some moves on him, man. That would have been an ugly situation. Shout out to Barry White. Oh, man. All these people dying without this information. Now let's get back to Kevin. Do we know for a fact that Kevin had a will? No, we don't know if he had a will or not. We don't know if he had a trust or not. Right? We don't know if people are going to start coming out of the woodwork or what. We don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully he took care of all this stuff. Hopefully he did. But his passing opens the conversation to, is your estate set up? Right? Do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Right? California, you can have a trust and not have it. You don't have to record it. But it can't have any real property in it. If you have any real property in a trust, it has to be recorded downtown. It has to be recorded in the county that you recorded, that you live in, right? But that's just how it goes out here in California. You need to check with the laws out there in your state. Your state might be different, right? Certain things you need, power of attorney, stuff like that, may not necessarily have to be recorded. But what I would do is definitely do a physical will, a paper will, right? They're easy. You can buy them at the Staples. You can buy a pack of all of these different documents, wills, estate planning. You can buy all that trust. You can buy all that stuff right there at Staples and just kind of outline it and then take it to a lawyer to have a lawyer clean it up. Have a lawyer clean it up. Why? Clarence, that's going to cost me $1,000. I know. But how much is it going to cost your family bickering over your estate? Much more than $1,000. Is it right? Is that right? Your family's going to spend so much time and money going over the estate. And what are the lawyers going to say? No, lawyers going to say, no. We don't have to bicker over this estate. It's okay. Just let this person win. I will walk away from the funds you're going to pay me. No, most lawyers ain't going to do that. In my life, I've only seen one lawyer do that to me. One lawyer say anything close to like that to me. And I talked to many lawyers. But one lawyer told me that. White boy, shout out to him out there in Long Beach. He said, Clarence, I can get you this money. But you're going to lose your job. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose this. And you got some good benefits on this job. I don't know if you can find that anywhere else. So you need to think this one over. He said, I can run rings through your employer. I can run rings through your employer. I do this all the time with your employer. I've never lost against them. He told me, he said, I never lost against them. He said, I can win this case. This is no problem. It's a slam dunk for me. But he said, but how you got 3 children? You got 3 young children. Are you going to be able to find another gig that pays you this much, plus gives you the benefits? He said, you need to really think that over. Shout out to that dude. I listened to him. Shout out to him. I ended up dropping the case. Why? Because of me? No, not because of me. Because of my family. I thought about them. What would they be if I was in a situation where I had to go back out in the job market 10 years after I got this job? Would I been making the same money? I would have to start basically from the bottom and work my way up again, right? And I have families to support. Wife, 3 boys, right? I mean, you can only pass down so many clothes, right? You definitely can't pass shoes down, right? It's only so much you can do. So I said, hey, man, not for myself, but for them, I got to sacrifice this situation and just, I got to take this one on the chin, right? Right? But getting back to estate planning, you see, these are all decisions that we have to make. Black men don't go to the hospital. Why? Black man, why you ain't going to the hospital? Why you ain't going to the hospital, black man? Right? Last time I saw Kevin Samuels, his hands were so swollen. They looked like gloves. I was telling Rico, I said, man, that dude, the last time I saw him, man, on the video, his hands looked like they were going to pop. His hands looked like them clown hands where they, they blow them up they blow them up. I said, man, that can't be healthy. Now, this is me talking to myself. I'm talking on the inside to myself, saying, I'm looking at him going, man, he does not look healthy. I mean, he looked healthy all the way outside of that, but your hands and feet will usually tell on you, right? If something really bad is going on, you usually see it in your extremities, right? Your hands and your feet. And his hands were looking, they were looking pretty bad. Pretty bad. I said, and I thought about it. I said, man, why don't he just go to the doctor? Well, why not? Because with black men, we get so busy. We get caught up in chasing these dollars. I'm going to chase these dollars. I'm going to chase this. I'm chasing this. I'm chasing that. And you're chasing all these dollars. And what are you getting from it? Nothing. We need to go to the doctor, black men. We need to go to the doctor more often. More often. But what happened? We don't go. We don't go. Why? Because we scared. We don't want the doctor to tell us, hey, there's something can I talk to you alone for a minute? Right? That's got to be the most scariest thing in the world. I know I've been there. Hey, I need to talk to you. Or you get that phone call. Can you call us immediately? Right? They run some tests and you thinking, oh, it's no big deal. And you get that call. Call us immediately. Call us immediately. You go in there, they tell you something that's going to change your whole life. And you know it. That's why you don't want to go to the doctor. But we got to start being proactive, black men. We got to start being proactive. We're not proactive. We're reactive, right? We keep eating all this salt, keep eating all this fried food. We keep eating all this, bad, food, right? Then we don't exercise. We get to a certain age and we just stop exercising, right? Sweat is a way to get rid of toxins, to release toxins out of the body. But we don't sweat, right? Some reason we get to a certain age, we don't sweat no more. No, man, that's what makes you old, is the fact that you don't sweat. You got to sweat these toxins out of your system. We eating bad food. We not exercising. We looking at stupid stuff. We're not even looking at stuff that's going to help our mental state, right? We looking at YouTube, and what are we looking at? Fat booties and big breasts, right? It don't even matter what the girl talking about. She could be talking about guns or shotguns or what. It don't matter what she's talking about, right? That's all we looking at is her booty and her breasts, right? Saying to ourselves, damn, I wish I could hit that. Meanwhile, we got issues going on inside of ourselves. We got issues. Obviously, Brother Kevin has some issues, right? That weren't being addressed. Why? Because he didn't go to the hospital. He didn't go to the doctor. When the last time you think Kevin Samuels went to the doctor? I know he probably hadn't been to the doctor since he hit that, since he went viral. He probably said, man, I'm good. Everything's great. Those Red Bulls, fast, quick way to high blood pressure. All that caffeine, quick way to high blood pressure. That caffeine will eat through clog up your arteries, man. And the acid in the caffeine, that stuff will create such an issue in your body. But he had all these friends, but nobody told him, right? Nobody came to him with that information, right? I don't know. I was saying nobody, but none of the people that say they're his friends publicly are saying, yeah, I saw him drinking all them Red Bulls, and I cared enough about him that I went to him and I said to him, brother, maybe you should stop, maybe you should slow down on those Red Bulls. Right? Brother Negro say, they say most Americans don't even read one book per year. Yeah, they don't. They don't, right? Especially black men and reading. What's the old joke, New Growth? What's the old joke? If you want to hide something from black people, where you hide it at? You hide it in the book, right? If you want to hide something from black people, you ain't got to go far. Just put it in the book. Black people ain't going to read. Most of us ain't going to read. And then the ones of us that do read, a lot of us don't have the comprehension to understand what's actually going on. There you go, Risa. Just put it in the book. Put it in the book. You got to worry about black people, especially black men. You ain't got to worry about black men going to go look for nothing in no book. That is for sure. Unfortunately. But see, we gotta look at our health, and we gotta say to ourselves, hey man, it's the only body we got. But we as black men, I mean, I'm telling you as a black man, I'm telling you, because I'm a living embodiment of how we as black men think. We so used to just taking everything on the chin, we just keep going. Even though we may notice something changing, right? We may notice our hands swelling up. We like, oh man, if I just sleep it, I'm just gonna sleep it off. I'll get better. I'll get better. Let me tell you, man, the first time I found out I had kidney issues, right? I was working, I was on the job, man, and I was like, I had a headache for like a month. This headache would not go away. And I was like, man, what's going on with me? So I went, my wife said, if that headache ain't gone by this Friday, you're going to the doctor. I said, okay, no problem. Because I wouldn't go to the doctor, right? I was like, I ain't got to go to the doctor for a headache. You tripping, right? Because we as black men, we don't want to go. We know they're going to tell us something that we need to address, and we scared, so we don't want to go, right? But we look like, oh, no, I ain't going to go because this is it. But we're really, in actuality, it's fear. It's fear. We don't want to go. All right. So anyway, and I mean, it's justified fear, right? Because when you become a man, you know, there's certain areas that you don't want touched by somebody that you don't care about, right? There's certain areas you don't want touched. But when you go to the doctor, they got to touch everything, right? Anyway, so that Friday came, and I still had the headache. So my wife called me, and with the nurse on the line, and said, hey, you know, she said, why don't you just come down to emergency? I said, emergency? For what? She said, well, you know, let them take a look at you, and then they can release you, right? She was, you know, nice enough. She said, you know, if there's no issue, they'll release you. I was like, oh, man. I was teaching a class. I was like, oh, man, okay. I let one of my other teachers teach a class. You know, I had to tell them, hey, I got to roll because I got to go to the doctor. My wife, she wants me to go to the doctor. Man, this is crazy. All right, for a simple headache. All right. I get down there, man. They take my blood pressure, right? They put the thing on you, right? There was a thing on you to take your blood pressure, right? The thing kept popping off. Right? I go, hey, I say, hey, your machine is broken. It's not working because it keeps popping off. They go, no, it's not broken. It's your pressure's too high for it. It can't calibrate. I said, what are you talking about? They said your blood pressure is way too high for it to calibrate. It's not gonna calibrate it. So we can't take your pressure here, but we're gonna send you to another emergency room. I go, another emergency room? Yeah, we're gonna send you to another emergency room. They sent me to another emergency room, right? So I get down to that emergency room, and then when I'm in that emergency room, this is pre-pandemic, right? So, it's like full of people out there, man. Maybe about 70, 80 people out there, right? Big place where they still had chairs all over the place, right? Everybody could sit right behind everybody and cough on each other and everything, right? So I get there, I like, oh man, I'll be here all night, right? So you know how they check you in, right? They check me in, and so they try to take my blood pressure, same thing. You know how everything go, it thing just keeps popping off my arm, right? So finally they had to hold it. They had to hold it there, right? Y'all ain't gonna believe this, man. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. I think my blood pressure was 252 over it was 252 over 232 or something like that. Some ridiculous, way beyond stroke blood pressure, man. We just ridiculously past stroke blood pressure, right? And so they said, hey, you don't I was like, well, so after they took my blood pressure and everything, checked me in, I said, oh, okay, so wait, it's wait over here. They go, no. They go, no. They said, you come with us. We got a room waiting for you right now. I said, what? They said, yeah, we got a room waiting for you right now. I go, why? I just got a headache. They got, it's way more than a headache, man. They said, we don't know what's going on, but you definitely got more than a headache, man. So come on with us. So they give me these blood pressure medication, right? And they gave me too many at once, right? So I don't know if you guys ever had that happening to you, but if they give you too much, if you have high blood pressure, if your blood pressure has been high for a long time, and they give you stuff to make it drop, and it drops real fast, what you could do is go into seizures, right? So that's what happened to me. I went into a seizure because I was like, I couldn't breathe, right? What happens? You feel this weight on your chest and you can't breathe, right? So I'm trying to get breath, and I couldn't get no breath, and then I just started sneezing, right? So what they had to do was turn me upside down. They got you in a bed, right? And they turn you upside down so that the stuff can, I guess, repatriate throughout your system faster, and it helped the situation, it helped the process a little bit. But I'm just saying, that's all. That's just me just walking in the door. That ain't even them sitting me down saying, hey, you got some serious kidney issues. So this is what you got. You got to do A, B, C, D, and E, right? And I was like, what? Right. Brother Newgrove said, that's why we soft code. Even listen to some people because can't even listen to some people because their points are so far from the truth. Like Malcolm comment. Like the Malcolm comment, you remember that, huh, New Growth? We blind and ignorant. Yeah, man. Brother Anderson said, you lucky to be here. Yeah, brother, I done had so many near-death experiences, Brother Anderson. That's why I know I'm doing the right thing, brother. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, man, because man, I could tell you about 4 or 5 more other times where I was surely gone. I was surely supposed to be dead, and I'm still here, brother. All praise is due to the one God, man. Yeah, man, that's why I'm very thankful, brother. I'm very thankful for just to be here and talk. And if something should happen to me, hopefully you guys that's here in the chat and whoever else is in the bushes, man, you guys have gotten the way I've talked about it, and you guys could talk about me later. And even if you start a page, you could talk about the way that I tried to help us all learn. I mean, I'm not no smarter than none of you guys. I'm just a guy that's at this point of it. I'm at this point of it where I got a page and I'm set up to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not no smarter than nobody, nowhere. You know what I mean? I'm just blessed that, God, helped me get through a lot of those things, a lot of those situations, man. It was tough, Brother Anderson. It was really tough. I'm here. I can laugh about a lot of that stuff now, but I could tell you some stories about where Brother Clarence been, where it would make you go somewhere and sit down and really maybe even cry, man. It was just bad. It was bad. It was a bad situation. But because of God, here I am. So I got my work to do, right? I got my work to do. Shout out to the creator of the universe. Shout out to all of y'all, right? But anyway, wasn't my point about going to the hospital. Sister Glenda said, we all have missions, whether we know it or not. That's why we're still here. Shout out to you, Sister Glenda. Appreciate you. Yeah, so I had a real serious issue. And but the point is, I thought I just had a headache. I was like, man, what's going on with me? And they said, hey, look, this is the situation with you, man. It's very critical. And, so you got to make some serious changes like right now. I was like, oh, boy, okay. I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not going to be here. Yeah, you got to be, and you know what they say to you? Hey, you go, hey, but, you try to say, hey, this is not fair, but they go, hey, this is your new normal. It's your new normal now, right? It's your new normal. But what's the point of that? The point is, we don't go to the doctor as Black men, right? I avoided the doctor. I avoided. And I never, even when I would feel bad, I would just pop some aspirin and just keep moving, right? Because we as men, we're not really allowed to feel bad. We're not allowed to lick our wounds in public, right? We got to just keep on moving. If you try to lick your wounds in public, they call you a simp or a beta or whatever the going term is at the time. They call you whatever, right? So we as men, we can't really lick our wounds. And then people say, well, you should be more, you should show your feelings more. But when you're a man and you show your feelings, people look down on that. So, most men just say, forget it. I'm just going to hold it in, right? We do the same thing. So we don't go to the doctor because we're scared. The doctor's going to tell us something we don't want to hear, right? How many people have went into the doctor and the doctor said, man, good thing you came in. You got 6 months to live. You got 8 months to live or 10 months to live, whatever, right? I got a friend, man, that went into the doctor for something, man. And they said, hey, you got this situation. I forgot it was cancer or something. You got this situation brewing. We got to jump on this today. No, it ain't no going home. You got to do this today. Right? If you don't deal with it today, you're out. They had to operate on her that day. Change her life. And another young lady I know had to get a pacemaker. Sister, maybe 40 years old, somewhere in there. A pacemaker. Why? Now, in her situation, she did a lot of alcohol and drugs. But the point is, man, she went to the doctor for totally something else, just something totally unrelated, just to go in to look at some issue. And now she got to deal with a pacemaker. Can't be too close to the microwave. And I mean, really. But what's my point? My point is, let me get back to Black men. Let me relate it to Kevin. Let me see what Brother Anderson say. Brother Anderson say, remember, a lot of doctors wouldn't see you for a regular checkup due to COVID. All my doctor visits have been very Zoom. No, Brother Anderson, I'm talking about before COVID. Most men ain't going to go to no doctor. Not on their own. They're not. If my wife hadn't forced me to go, brother, I wouldn't be here. If she hadn't forced me to go, and when I say forced me, I said, she made it clear that, hey, you're not getting back in this house until you go to the doctor. Shout out to the queen. Yeah, she said, you're not getting back in this house until you go to the doctor, man. That's it. And she couldn't get there fast enough. Because she know me. I would just be like, oh, well, okay, well, whatever. Give me a pill and I'm out, right? But they said, no, bro. Blood pressure like what you got, man. They was like, hey, you could basically, we gonna send you in an ambulance down there. I'm like, I'm fine. I just got a headache. Man, I said, man, if y'all just give me something for my headache, I'll be straight. They kept telling me, man, you not here. They like, you ain't getting it, dude. You got way more things going on than a headache. You got way more things than a headache, But we as black men, we just do not want to go to the hospital. And I know why. I know why we don't want to hear it. We know we've been eating bad. We know we've been doing drugs. We know we've been drinking. We know we've been partying. We know we've been engaging in unprotected sex. The doctor's office, right? Shout out to the brotherhood, man. Shout out to the brotherhood, man. We just a crazy bunch of dudes, man. Brother Negro said we have to take care of our temples, right? Stop all this drinking and smoking. I had to make a choice to stop meat, exercise, sleep regular. More importantly, stop stressing these material things. You're right, brother. You're right. You're right. So we gotta. If we're not there all the way there on that list of stuff you just put there, we need to be walking towards it, right? We need to walk towards it. We need to walk towards it, man. But especially the exercising, man. Exercising and sleep. Sleep is where your body repairs itself. If you're not sleeping right, then you're not repairing yourself right. And eventually you have broken down the repair process. Right? If you can't sleep at least 5 hours straight, you need to sleep 5 hours uninterrupted so that the repair process can take, right? If you don't do that, then what's going to happen? The repair process is not going to occur, and then you're going to be left with a lot of things that's not happening. And then what happens over time, you start living like that. Over time, your body just breaks down. Your body just breaks down. It has no way to recover. Then on top of that, you're not eating nutritious foods. You're only eating foods that put more stress on the body, right? Fried foods. I mean, it's okay to have fried food here and there, but I mean, that's your whole diet? Or your whole diet is eating out? No. We can't do that. We can't do that. You know, Bob Marley, I told you guys, Bob Marley died. He had a little foot infection. If he would just went to the doctor, got some medicine, got some penicillin for that, done. No. He let it develop into cancer. He let it develop into, it ate him up. Start choking off his blood flow. I mean, off from a little cut on his foot. Right? I mean, but he's like most of us as black men, we do not want to go to the doctor. He could have just put 10 or 20 more years on his life just by going to a doctor, getting some penicillin to handle that situation. Or Michael Jackson, he could have just got into his car or had somebody drive him to a hospital, not have, what's his name, the doctor that actually came over there and gave him the medicine. He could have went to a hospital where they could have evaluated him properly. And I'm not blaming the brother that went over there and gave him the medicine that killed him, but I'm just saying what he should have did is went to a hospital to get evaluated. Right? Brother Negro said, unfortunately, that's one thing Brother Chaos felt he didn't have time to do. Sleep and just be still. I wish people would have told him to slow down and get some rest. See, that's the same thing I'm saying, Brother Negro. That's the same thing I'm saying. I'm saying if all these people are coming out the woodwork saying, this was my best friend, this was my good friend. Even I, brother, I didn't even know the brother that well, but I saw that he didn't look right. He looked okay in his physical, but his hands, I saw that his hands were very swollen. I noticed that right away, lately, right? And in my opinion, it has something to do with them Red Bulls. Because what happens is, man, when your body can't properly filter that stuff out of the body, it'll start storing it places. And it's usually in the extremities, the hands, the feet, the eyes, the extremities, right? Right? So that's what happened, in my opinion, with him. I don't know exactly what happened with him, but I know another thing was he didn't stop and rest, right? This whole, I'm gonna outwork you, I'm gonna work 24 hours a day. Brother, God said, I gave you the alternation of the day and the night so that you could rest in the night and work in the day. I gave you the alternate. If he wanted you to work all the time, wouldn't be no nighttime. Right? God said, I gave you the alternation of the day and the night. So you could rest in the night and work in the day. But we got guys like Kevin Samuels and Anton Daniels. Like, well, I'm going to work 24 hours. Ain't no successful person stays successful working 24 hours a day. It's just not possible. That kind of pace is, and even the pace he had, it would have been better for him, and he wouldn't have lost no subscribers if he would have just did 2 shows a week. And the other days worked out or rested or whatever, right? Man, even God don't work 7 days a week. Right? But our dear brother, unfortunately he had people that was close to him, but I guess the people didn't feel close enough to be able to step to him about his health. That's unfortunate, man. That's unfortunate. I wish one of them did. I didn't always agree with Kevin, but I wish one of them did step to him. I wish one of them had a step to him and said, hey, brother, don't you think it's enough? Those Red Bulls are enough? He seemed like a reasonable guy. He might have listened. That's what it seemed like to me. He seemed like he was reasonable enough to listen to, at least listen to you. And if you was one of his friends, at least hear you out, right? But Vaughn said, I was saying it to myself, even God took a rest, right? See, but we not set up to work 24 hours a day, brother. We just not set up to do that. We're not set up to work 24 hours a day. Everything works off the alternation of the day and the night. He gave us the alternation of the day and the night, right? Jesus said, a man could work. The sun comes up, a man can work. He said in the middle of the day, man could work. I'm paraphrasing. And then when the nighttime comes, there comes a time in a man's life where it's the nighttime where he can't work. You hear, but you can't work. You can't work. And he's talking about an age situation, but I'm talking about a situation where you shouldn't work. You can't work, because if you do work 24 hours a day, you're going to burn out. We got these bodies that can last so many years, but we have been taught to live a lifestyle that will burn them out quick. We think living 70, 80 years is a long time. That's nothing. That's nothing. But we learn how to live so quickly and so fast, and we live with so much anxiety that burns away a lot of our living, right? Because anxiety produces acid in the blood. Oh, here I go. Here I go. I'm going over the head, Vaughn. Brother Sim, good to see you in the building, man. Brother Sim say salute. Many dudes work themselves to the bone and can end up enjoying life for a few years because of it. Yeah, see, here's the thing, Brother Sim. Like, you got guys like Kevin and Anton, and they tell you to work, right? And for young guys, okay, maybe guys be under the age of 30, they can handle a pace like that. You get over the age of 30, now you gotta start thinking about that. You gotta work smarter, not harder, smarter. You can't be I'm gonna work, right? You can't do that. Look at me and Vaughn. Man, I'm 54. Vaughn is up there. I think Vaughn say he's 60, right? Man, what me and Vaughn look like working 24 hours a day. And you got a wife, and you got children, and you got family. Who can work? Who can keep that pace up? You're never gonna make it. Working like that is for a young man strictly. And I wouldn't even say for a young man. You need to enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. Maybe you work. Okay, maybe you work some overtime hours. Save up you some money so you can go on a trip and go out and enjoy yourself. Always with your program, always with the plan. Okay, I gotta, because my plan is to have my own business. Okay. So what you want more? You want to go on a trip, or you want the business? Well, you gotta, once you get everything the way you want it, then it's time to take a break. See? Let's look at God. God said, in my mind, I know what I want out there. So let me put it together. Let me put this plan together. I'm going to make this. I'm going to make these oceans. I'm going to make these animals. I'm going to make this. I'm going to make that. I'm going to make. Done. After you're done, it's rest time. Time to kick your feet up. I can imagine God saying to himself, I like that. I like that. I like that. That's cool right there. That's cool. Saying to himself, anybody else around here got something to say about that? Yeah. I like that. Right? But the point is, he looked at it and he said, hey, nah, man. It's time to take a break. I accomplished my goal, and now it's time to take a break. Even he tried to show us, man, hey, can't work all the time. But I'm sure I don't like that these young guys are getting the bad idea that, oh, you're supposed to just work yourself into the ground. And you spend all this time working, and you haven't made no connection with your family. You haven't made no connection with your wife. You haven't made no connection with nothing except the money. But Vaughn says, work the work of he who has sent you while it's day. Because the nighttime comes when no man will work. Right. You see where I'm coming from, Vaughn. You said good. I paraphrase a lot. You said good, right? And shout out to Brother Vaughn. Vaughn says, it's okay to keep the Sabbath. Yeah. It's okay. I mean, I'm not trying to get anybody to follow any religion at all. Any one particular religion. Got a little gnat in here. Any one particular religion. I'm not trying. I should have closed my window. I'm not trying to get anybody to follow any one religion. in particular. I'm just saying we should observe the one that we feel like if you are okay with the understanding of that's being a creator that created this situation that we are a part of, and how that person went about setting things up, then hey, what's good for them is not good for us. You got to get rest. You got to get rest. You got to get your life in order. You got to get your life in order. What's going to be your life in order, right? We talked about estate planning. Black man, go to the hospital. Go to the doctor. Get a checkup every year. I don't need to get a checkup. I'm cool. Until you're not cool. Damn. Until you're not cool. You cool until you're not cool. You cool until you're not cool. That's the bad part about, especially heart disease. The bad part is you don't find out that you got heart disease until the heart attack hit you, until the stroke hit you. That's when you find out, oh shoot, I'm all messed up. But we as black men, we don't want to see that, man. We don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at that. Don't tell me that. I don't need to go to no hospital. I'm cool. Right? Last time I saw my father was at my aunt's house. I had to go to work that morning. But I knew him and my uncle was going fishing. So I said, I stopped by there real quick early in the morning before I left. And I said, hey, he's like, I'm good. I'm good. Matter of fact, I take that back. Don't let me start lying. I left a note on his car because he wasn't out there yet. And I didn't want to wake up my aunt and everything. It was like 6 in the morning. I didn't want to wake my aunt and my family up. So I just put a note on his car. Hey, bro, I'll talk to you later. I just came by to check on you. I'll talk to you later, right? We didn't even know my father had a heart condition. We didn't even know. He knew. He didn't tell us, but he had a heart condition. We didn't even know. Okay, so anyway, I'm just checking on him just because I knew he had spent the night at my aunt's house, right? Because he went to go fishing with my uncle the next morning. So the last time I actually saw him was a Thursday before that Saturday. I talked to him for a minute, and then because I saw him, we was at home, and I saw him roll through the crib, and I saw him, he's like, hey, I'm good, I said, hey, are you all right? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, cool. So that Saturday, I was going to see him in the morning. I said, I ain't seen the dude, man. He spent the night over here. I haven't seen the dude. Let me talk to him, because we had different hours, right? I was catting. I was, I was trying to see the girls, right? So I was missing him a lot. Oh man, I was missing him a lot. So anyway, he was going to go fishing, and my uncle said, he grabbed his heart early in the morning, right? And they called the paramedics. Paramedics came by, and he said he was fine, right? He said about maybe an hour later, he did the same thing again, and he instinctively handed his wallet to my aunt, which is his sister. He instinctively said, hold this. And by the time the paramedics got there, gone just like that. We found out later that he had a heart condition that he never addressed. He had an operation he was supposed to have where they were supposed to do something through his leg. And because, like black men, we scared. We don't want to go to the hospital. He didn't tell my mother. My wife ain't my wife don't play that, man. My wife be like, hey, your doctor called here. I want to know what's happening. I respect that, man. You know what I'm saying? She got her whole life in my hands. So I respect that. I had to respect that. I had to Oh no, I ain't gonna tell you nothing. No. I said, hey, this lady got her whole life wrapped around me, so she deserved to at least know what's happening with me, right? Anyway, let me finish that story in a minute. Brother Newgrove said, I respect Islam so much because they have discipline, take time to pray, fast, etc. No matter what, that comes first. It should, Brother Newgrove. I'm just going to be honest with you, brother. It not always happen like that. So nobody's perfect, but yeah, definitely that's what it should be. That's what it should be. But things happen. But yeah, man, that is definitely the way it's supposed to go. And when you pray, see, it takes a long time for people to understand what you actually praying for. When you praying, what you actually doing. What you actually doing is the prayer is supposed to be an acknowledgement of the God and you acknowledging God, right? But see, most people, they start out like this. Oh, dear God, I want this motorcycle. Please make sure I get this motorcycle. Thank you, God. And then the motorcycle don't appear. Then God don't answer prayers, right? Man. The prayer is you. You are. This is it. The prayer is for you to show that you acknowledging the creation, the Creator. That's for you to acknowledge that person, right? This is a shot. This is a chance for you to show this person that you appreciate what they've done for you. That's what we're going to start right there. Then if you have something to ask for after we've acknowledged in every way that this person has done all this for us, then you ask for that. You follow? You're supposed to start off saying, oh, let me pray. God, you know what? Please tell Vaughn to not keep telling me that I need to keep these live streams short, God. Please don't let Vaughn do that to me. Please, Lord, please. Right? I can't do that, right? I got to say, thank you, God, for all the creation that you gave us. Thank you, God, for making me up this morning. Thank you for everything. Now, God, can I ask you to ask Vaughn to not make these live streams short? But you see, brother, when we pray, what we doing, prayer is us showing God that we appreciate him. And when we show him that we appreciate him, then now the door is open for us to ask for what we want and try to line up what we asking for, our behavior with what we asking for. See, people think a prayer only has one thing that goes with it, and that's the ask. No, the ask comes, then the behavior comes behind the ask. We have to ask first, then have the behavior come behind the ask. If you just ask with no behavior behind the ask, then the request may not come. But you got a better shot of the request coming when the ask is followed by the behavior. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. Shout out, Vaughn. I had to throw you under the bus, brother. I had to throw you under the bus, Vaughn. Big Rig Slap says, shout out to brother Big Rigs, man, doing the Lord's work over there on JP page. Shout out, brother Clarence, and the people in the chat. Big Rig Slaps in the building. Salute, sir. Appreciate you, man. Man, I got it, man. See, I got to take a minute to stop and say, all of you brothers, man, are some good brothers, man. And if I have to only have 8 people instead of 300 in here, clowns, I'd rather have 8 real people than 300 clowns in here, man. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Brother Newgrove says, right, I agree with you totally. I try to meditate at least 30 times a day. That's good, brother. And I appreciate your wisdom, big bro. Thank you. I appreciate yours, Newgrove. We all learning from each other, man. We all learn from each other. Vaughn, I had to throw you under the bus. You know that, man. I had to throw you under the bus. You one of the dinosaurs now, man. Brother Anderson said, Why you got to say it like that, man? I got to, man. I got to. Brian, Brian, man, Brian's a good dude, man. He can take a joke just like the rest of us, man. So I could tell that about his personality, man, where he rolls, man. Brother Vaughn said, I enjoyed the stream today, sir. I thought you were coming on earlier at 10 a.m. What happened? Oh, what happened was Rico couldn't make it. And so I tried to push it back a little farther. Sorry about that, Vaughn. I had to push it back a little farther because Rico couldn't make it, but I wanted him to be able to make it. But he said, he's like, Clarence, I might not be able to make it today because I got all these other issues I got to deal with. I said, okay. I said, so what I do is I just push it later. And then, I said, hopefully I sent him the link, but sometimes he ain't go, like I said, we all have real lives, right, Vaughn? So that's what happened. I'm sorry, Vaughn, if you set some stuff away. We usually do it at 10 in the morning, around 10 or 11 in the morning, but that's what happened this time. He had some things to do, so I tried to work around his schedule. But this Thursday it'll probably be in the morning. It'll probably be in the morning at around 10 or 11, somewhere in there. But I appreciate you for asking, man. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. So, but people don't understand what prayer is about, man. Prayer is about asking God. It's a prayer is you showing God that you appreciate him and you appreciate what he's done for you. Just like you would your mother. You tell your mother, I appreciate what you did for me, Mom. I appreciate that, right? On Mother's Day, every day, really, every day should be Mother's Day, right? But on this one particular day, that's where we pull out all the stops and we say, hey, Mom, I appreciate you for what you did for me, right? Like I was saying on yesterday's stream, was it yesterday? Was it yesterday, Vaughn? No, it was Sunday. Sunday stream, I was saying that women that bear children have to literally walk by death's front door. And then when they get past death's front door, there's an angel waiting for them that they have to wrestle with, a death angel. They got to wrestle with this death angel. She got to get herself past this death angel. Not only get herself past this death angel, then she got to get her child past this death angel. Right? When she wrestled with this angel, this death angel, and she prevailed over this death angel, and the child prevailed over the death angel, we give her new name. A new name is Mom. Mother. Right? Before she wrestled with this death angel and before she prevailed over this death angel, we don't call her Mom. We call her expected Mom. Right? But when she wrestled with the angel, like Moses, was it Moses? No. Y'all help me, Vaughn. Who wrestled with the angel and got the name Israel? I forgot now. Jacob wrestled with the angel, right? He got the name Israel, right? He prevailed over the angel and got the new name. But he couldn't get that name without going past that angel. Thank you, Brother Vaughn. Right? He wrestled with that angel. Your mama had to wrestle with the angel of death. Not only get herself past that angel, but she had to get you past that angel. And then she gets a new name after she prevailed, Mother. But we take that name so lightly. Shout out to all the mothers. Shout out to all the mothers. We take that name so lightly, man. Mother is a good name. Even sometimes, unfortunately, the women that pass through and prevail to get to be called mothers, sometimes they don't even take that name that seriously. That's a very serious accomplishment. That's a very serious accomplishment. And we should always appreciate them. Well, Clarence, my mother's doing this and my mother's doing that, and my mother did this and my mother did that. So what? We are not qualified to judge our parents. Only thing we can do is accept the good that they gave us. The bad that we don't think is the good, we put it to the side. But we keep the good. The love that they gave us. Most of us, our mothers, showed us a lot of love. We should embrace that. And even if your mother didn't show you love, just her being the vessel of your interest into this world, that alone, you all see what James Brown's mother did to him? My friend Chadwick Boseman played him in the movie, the James Brown movie. His mother treated him horrible. She basically abandoned the young man. And then when he became what did she do? When he became a big star? Can you help me with some money? Kind of like Shaq's father, right? What did James Brown do? Yeah, he went off on her. But what did he do? After he went off on her, what did he say? He told his people, make sure she ain't got nothing to worry about. Make sure she's taken care of always. Because that was his mother. And he remembered all the times she rebuked him and she denied him. This little boy, he belonged to you. He come up to her, mama, mama, mama. The dude that she was trying to go out with and, make some money with. He said, this little boy say he's your son. She denied him right there. No, he ain't my son. I don't know him. But at the same time, he realized this is his mother, man. His mother come knocking on his door 20 years later. Huh? Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me, man. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me, man. We got to do better with our mothers. All of us. We got to do better with our mothers and our fathers. Those are y'all that I haven't seen my father since I was 18 years old. Alive. Some of y'all got your father right there. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call him. All you got to do is get in the car and go see him. Y'all tripping on that. K Business Podcast. Good to see you in the building, sir. Good to see you in the building. Say I missed most of it. I hope people are not comparing Kevin Samuels with those legends. Brother K Podcast, we're not comparing nobody, brother. We wishing that everybody would plan their estate properly. It's not about plan. It's not about, we don't know if Kevin had his estate plan. If he didn't, it's going to be a problem for his family, right? All these people had together was the fact that they had problems in their estate planning, right? Barry White, Jackson. Like I said before, Michael Jackson died in 2009. His estate just got settled last year. That's 13 years later, right? K Business Podcast. Who you think got paid all that money? Who got paid? The lawyers. I already said it right there. The lawyers got paid, and they just siphoned off the estate, right? They kept that thing going for 13 years. 13 years they kept that thing going. It's a bad situation. It was a bad situation. That's why we're here talking about black men going to the hospital, going to get checkups, black men going to the doctor more, black men getting their estate planted and planning their estates. Some of these people didn't even have a will. Some of these people didn't even have a will. They had nothing. Bob Marley didn't have a will. Bob Marley didn't even have a will. Bob Marley, his mother was expecting to receive something from his estate. She got zero, a goose egg. And I know Bob Marley loved his mother. So why didn't he protect her? Why? Because it didn't resonate in his head that by doing something like that could protect her. Just like us as black men, it don't resonate with us that we need to protect the people around us. Even Kevin, I don't know if Kevin had a will or not. I don't know if Kevin had his trust or not. I don't know if Kevin had his estate together. But if he's anything like the rest of us as black men, he probably did not. We don't have life insurance. We don't have trust set up. We don't have our estate set. We don't have a will. We don't have nothing. So when we pass, what happens? Who gets that high value money? The government. The government gets that money. They're going to charge an inheritance tax, state and federal, right? They're going to charge you for the probate costs, the lawyer's fees. You might get 30% of what's actually out there. Maybe, if you're lucky. Right? So that's what we're talking about. I know there's other people talking about a lot of other drama, right? Hey, this person said this and this person said that, and I'm mad at this person. I try not to be mad at nobody. Y'all see me when I get mad. It's an ugly situation. So I try not to get mad. Because when I do, boy, man, do the gloves come off. Right, Von? The gloves come off, man. Risa, you seen it too. Them gloves come off, and then there's an ugly situation, man. But I'm a very loving brother, man. I'm a very loving brother as long as I feel like I'm okay, and I'm willing to say I'm sorry if I step on somebody's toes. If I really believe that I did wrong, even if I don't believe it, if I think it, I may not believe it yet, but if I think it, I say, man, could I have been wrong in this situation? Oh, okay, maybe. But so let me just apologize if I can, right? Brother New Growth, he says, so true. I forgot about the life insurance. We have to do better for our kids now. What? Yeah, brother. When I first got my policies, New Growth, I got policy on myself, my wife, and the 3 boys, right? Of course, the 3 boys, you don't get no big policy on them. You just get enough to put them in the ground, right? If something should happen, right? If in case something should happen. But you don't get the huge policies on me, right? Oh, I've got a couple, but they're gonna get rich when I'm down, right? They're gonna get rich when I'm down. But hey, I did what I was supposed to do, right? But the point is, it ain't even to make them rich. It's to make sure that they ain't gotta figure out what they're gonna do, right? When my mother passed away, she had everything right there out in front. We didn't have to figure out where to go, do nothing. She had already told me where everything was. So to put some hands on some money was easy. We had the money. We didn't even have to go to insurance to do nothing with her. We already had money, right? We could go get the money and touch it and go take care of business. It was easy money, right? But that's what we talk about, K Business Podcast. That's what we talk about, man. We ain't here to down Kevin or shoot Kevin down or nothing like that. No, we just saying hopefully the brother had his estate taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Just because a lot of these other people don't. A lot of people that are even bigger celebrities than him, quote unquote, don't have their stuff together. And then the families end up fighting over it, right? It becomes a real ugly situation. And then all that fighting, and to end up, somebody's going to lose. Somebody's going to have to go home and say, man, I'm not getting nothing. I spent all this money on lawyer fees, and I'm not getting nothing. It is what it is. It is what it is. But let's get back to us going to the doctor, because I'm not going to go too much longer, y'all. Going to the doctor. We as black men going to the doctor. We got to do better. We got to start being more positive, talking about Like, we want to talk about women and talking about dating and talking about cars and talking about gaming, and we talk about everything except black men's physical health. Nobody wants to address that, right? We don't want to address that. Why? Because people will run away from your live stream. Nobody will watch your videos. I remember the lead attorney was doing all of this good work, talking about the legal aspects of child support and the legal aspects of, divorce and all of these different legal things that it was help everybody, right? Man, nobody was watching that stuff. Ain't nobody gonna watch that stuff. People want to see, people want anxiety in their day. Unfortunately, the people have gotten to the point where they live on a diet of anxiety. What do I mean? They live on a diet of anxiety. I mean that the people want to, whenever they see something, they want to get a crazy feeling in their stomach, like some drama is going on. Right? Most of the time, we as black people, we don't really, we say that show is boring. There's a reason why Housewives of Atlanta and the Housewives franchise is doing so well. There's a reason why the Love and Hip Hop franchise is doing so well. There's a reason why the Black Ink franchise is doing so well. There's a reason why, because of all the stress that it caused, all the anxiety that they give to the viewer audience, right? Here I am. I'm just your little brother sharing some information with you. I ain't causing no controversy. I ain't causing no stress, except for that last video, right, man? Other than that, I ain't causing no stress. I'm just your little brother out here trying to share some information with you. Hopefully, your life could change like mine did. You know what I mean? I was a knucklehead, and my life changed. Thank God. You know what I mean? But do the people really want that? Do the people really want to hear that? No. What do the people really want? The people want to see drama. They want to see discord. They want to see people acting, people emotionally charged and unable to control their emotions. That's what the people want to see. They want to see people out of control. That's why people love. That's why people are so attracted to sex, right? Because when you having sex, you ain't in your right mind. You're seeing two people that's out of their right minds trying to communicate with each other. Right? I'm just your little brother. I'm just telling you the truth, man. I'm just telling you the truth. You can go out there. There's other content creators out there. They'll tell you a whole bunch of other crazy stuff. But I'm just your little brother. I'm telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. That's why people are so attracted to sex, because there's so much going on there where rational thinking is not there. Right? Because you can't think rationally and have sex with somebody. Clarence, you about to open up another door. Don't go there, Clarence. Don't go there, Clarence. Brother New Growth said, and we want it all the time. We have to have balance. We do have to have balance, Brother New Growth, but I'm going to tell you what happens. I'm going to explain. See, all I do, I don't think I'm very smart at all. I don't think I'm very smart at all. What I do is I put the mathematics with the reality of what's going on, and I do the math, and I make the math add up to what's going on. Because if the math don't math, it ain't mathing, right? So the people want to be in a constant stir, right? Because that stir brings up powerful emotions and powerful feelings and you feel powerful, right? You having sex with somebody, you feel powerful. Well, most of us, right? We feel powerful, especially us as men. Men, we feel very powerful. Why? Because the key component in sex is domination. You're to dominate. And that domination gives you power. You feel powerful. I can dominate this person. Even for this short period of time, I'm dominating this person. I'm on top of them. They can't go nowhere. They're effectively, I got them. Right? You ever seen bears mating? You ever seen tigers mating? Ever seen lions mating? The woman is like, oh God, I better not move. This dude could kill me, right? Why? But at the same time, she got a natural attraction to that domination. See, she ain't in her right mind. Why would she go around somebody that would kill her in any other circumstance, being that close to this person? They would kill her. Now, that's not the situation with us as human beings. The situation with us with human beings, if I would ignore you normally, right? But when you as the female can raise the sexual tension between us, now I'm looking at you as a sexual object. I have no option but to look at you as a sexual. I would say I won't have no option. Let me rephrase that. The strongest appetite I have for dealing with you will become how to have sex with you, how I can dominate you and have sex with you. I know this stuff going all over y'all's heads, right? Or maybe some of y'all say, you know what, Clarence, I got to think about that one. Okay. Y'all go ahead and think about it. I'm just going to tell it to you. And then you replay it back later. You watch the replay and you look at it and you decide what you with and throw out what you're not with. Right? So we as men want to dominate. But when we walk into that doctor's office, now we're vulnerable. And we as men, we don't like that vulnerable feeling. Because we used to dominate at work, dominating on the court, dominating, we playing balls with our friends. We dominate with playing balls. We dominate bid whiz, right? Dominate chess, dominate checkers, right? We dominate everything. But now we walk into a doctor's office, we're vulnerable. Or vulnerable. We don't want that vulnerable feeling. We don't. I understand that, man. I'm a man too. I don't want that vulnerable feeling. I hate that feeling. But I'd rather have that feeling. Well, I think about it like this. I don't know how y'all think about it, but I think about it like this. I'd rather have that vulnerable feeling for an hour or so to be able to have my wife know what's going on. She put in a lot of years, man. She put in a lot of time, a lot of years, a lot of tears to get my crazy behind to turn into a halfway decent human being, right? The least I could do is go and make sure I'm okay for her. The least I could do, right? Brother Vaughn says, peace and blessing, Brother Clarence. Great show. I'll catch you on the next slide. I got you, Brother Vaughn. I know you got a bunch of stuff to do, man. Catch you next time, brother. Peace. New Growth said, wow, you dropped a sign. Oh, Brother New Growth, man, I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. I know there's so many people that need to be told the truth, brother, but they just, where can you go, right? Ain't too many pages you can go where they're gonna tell you the truth. Why? Because they're trying to give you. Most of them are trying to get monetized, and I don't have nothing against being monetized. I really don't. I don't have nothing against it. Rico does, but I do. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Push your program, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying everybody got to do like I do. You know what I mean? Getting monetized is something that I feel like if the people think enough of us to help us get there, then cool. If not, cool. You know what I'm saying? I never came to YouTube so I could get rich. I came to YouTube so I could get the word out cost effectively, right? I could put my points out there and hopefully my experience could help somebody change their life. My experience that helped me change my life could help change other people's lives. But if the people see fit to, help us get some traction and help us get monetized and all that, cool. But if we're not monetized, it's not your fault. It's my fault, right? I mean, if we're not monetized, it's my fault. And it's my fault because that's not my goal. You know what I'm saying? That's not my goal. My goal ain't necessarily to be monetized. If it was, I'd have Kevin Samuels in every video, Kevin Samuels' name in every video. I have Anton Daniels' name in every video. I'd have all these different people name in every video. And I could be like all the rest of these cats get monetized just like that, right? All I have to do is throw somebody else's name in my videos, right? You get monetized just like that. But that's not where we're going with this, brother. You know what I'm saying? I want us to share information. Not just me, New Growth, you too, man. You got a lot of science to drop too. Brother Vaughn got a lot of science to drop. All my people, Risa, all of them, Quantum, all of them got stuff. Sister Glenda, Brother Daniel, all these people everybody got stuff. Brother Daniel did a thing on credit on this page. You want to go far back and look that up? I mean, we all got science we could drop, right? So come on, New Growth. You got to come on here and drop some science about something. You got to hit me up and say, but Clarence, I know a little bit about XYZ. Can I do a show? Hell yeah, you can do a show, man. Come on up here. That goes for any one of y'all. But I appreciate the compliment, brother. Thank you. Yeah, so where was I? Where was I, New Growth? But Brother New Growth said, I tell myself and my peers, the worst vulnerability is having your kids see you handicapped due to your lifestyle choices and lack of concern now. Brother, let me tell you what the worst situation is, brother. That's true. That's bad. But let me tell you what the worst situation is, Brother New Growth. You have mistreated so many people that now when you get into a point where you need a high level of personal care, they treat you like you treated them. That is because anybody can get sick. I don't even care how healthy you are. Anybody can get sick. Now it's true. You don't want to push the issue by eating bad all the time and not exercising all the time, and you know what I'm saying, and not making certain lifestyle choices. But the worst situation to be in is when you have mistreated someone, you have mistreated so many people, and you need a level of care that is at a high level, and there's nobody that wants to give you that care because of the mistreatment that you gave everybody. It comes back to haunt you. That's why I say, brother, we gotta start appreciating everybody. Our mother, our father, our children, our sisters, our brothers. We gotta just treat everybody as good as we can. You're not gonna be on good relationship with everybody. There's gonna be certain people, man, you're not on good terms with. Okay. But you don't have to beat them up. You just leave them alone. Right? I got family members, man. I had to just leave them alone, man. They had an issue with the Islam. They had an issue with Farrakhan. They had an issue with other things. Me not eating pork. They had an issue with issues with a lot of different stuff, right? And so they always was trying to get me to, see things their way. I can respect somebody that says, "Hey, I believe in Christianity, and this is the way I follow things," and but when they come and say, "Hey, man, you going to hell," I used to always say, "With a gas jacket?" They said, "Yup." That's an old NOI joke, man. You go to hell with a gas jacket, or this one. I'm going to be at the back gate of hell, right? I'll be at the back gate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. I don't see when let me tell y'all something, man. When I first got in the nation, man, we was like hard driving. Like, what? You ain't no Muslim? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? We was like that, right? We was like, what's wrong with you? We was like white people, man, if I could just get my hands around their necks, right? But then we started reading more of Elijah Muhammad's books. And in his book, the illuminating book, as Dr. Collins used to say, the illuminating book called The Message to the Black Man. In that book, he said, hey, I didn't tell you the things I told you about the Caucasians so that you could go and just spit on them. I told you that so that you would understand who you're dealing with. It took me years to get that, man. Years to get that. Right? I was just so like, and he said it. He said it in the message to the black man. When you first get this information, man, you like, It take a few years to cool out, right? It take a few years to, because you still haven't, you read what the words that you read on the pages haven't really sunk in yet. It haven't really sunk in yet. Right? This stuff has to sink in, and then you go, oh, I see what he meant by that. I see what he meant by that. Oh, okay. But so I'm gonna make my point in just a second. Sister Rita said, "Let he who is without sin, people need let he who is without sin. People need to stop that bull. Worry about your own soul." Yeah, that's true, Sister Rita. That's true. But I'm telling you, Sister Rita, I was what we call in the nation hard driving. I was hard driving. I mean, I was hard driving, right? And so we used to ridicule the Arab Muslim world. We used to ridicule them. We used to ridicule the Christian world. We used to ridicule the Jewish world. We used to ridicule everybody. If they wasn't NOI, F them. We was on them, right? Until I started getting a better understanding. I started seeing why some of the older Muslims were a lot more mellow. And the younger Muslims were always like, huh! And the older Muslims were much more mellow, right? And I start seeing, because you actually start understanding what's actually on the page. I started seeing, man, we don't have to fight with Christian people, man. I seen so many good dudes that was Christians, man. And I was like, this can't be right. This cannot be what Elijah Muhammad wanted us to do, is to mistreat these people just because they don't follow our path. This can't be right. And as I dug more into his teachings, I started realizing that was never the case. That was never the case. See, when we first read it when we were young, we didn't stop to think about the totality of what we were reading. And as I got older, I started, because I it didn't square me. I said, man, there's some good people out here that they believe in Christianity. There's some good people that believe in Judaism. I said, there's some good people out here that believe in Judaism. There's some good people that are just, they're like Rico, man. They're just good people. They're just good. They are spiritual, but they don't have a declared faith, right? They just people trying to be good people. See, but all of that before, I didn't know no better, right? I was all over the road. I had to learn. See, I had to accept the fact that, hey, maybe there's more to this that I'm not seeing. Maybe I need to investigate this more. And the more I start investigating, the more I start realizing, man, wow, this wasn't meant to us to just go out and diss other people. This is meant for us to know how to deal with people in a certain way so that we can be productive and they can be productive. This wasn't a setup for us to stamp anybody out. You could look at any one of his books. You never see him saying, hey, we need to get rid of this race or get rid of that race. Never. So once I started realizing that, I was like, okay. And I cooled out. And I said, you know what? Why do I care what somebody's faith is? Are they a good person? Do they treat me right? Why should I worry about how this man prays to God in his own home? Like, I got a right to decide how he connects with God. I don't have the right to decide how anybody connects with God. However they want to connect with God, that's on them. Right? The point is, they don't mistreat me, and I don't mistreat them. Right? Because guess what I found out, Sister Risa? You never know. You never know who you're going to need in this world. You never know who you're going to run into. You never know. So just treat everybody the right way, because you never know who you're going to see along the way. Remember that person that you mistreated? You never know where you're going to see them next. You never know. But Negro says, Brother Clarence, hardest dudes when I was young was the 5%. Them brothers were on the white folks. Yeah, we was too, brother. We was too. But if you look at it, where did that get us? Where did that really get us, brother? Yeah, we talked about them when we jumped on them good. Where did that actually get us? See, what we should have been focusing on is what we need to do to increase ourselves. Elijah Muhammad had a quote, a passage in the Message to the Black Man where he said, the Caucasian shouldn't even be an issue for you. He shouldn't even be an issue for you. He said the only time you should, he said the Caucasian should be like a string on your finger. You only notice it when you look down and look down at your hand and you see it. Oh, yeah, that's right. But we mistook what he said, and we was out there like, boy. But he knew through that to get to the part where we actually would be able to be settled down to actually hear his teachings the right, fully, right? Shout out to Brother D. Appreciate you, man. Peace and blessings, family. Just got in. Okay, right on, Brother D. Sit down, man. Take that pistol off. Take that belt off. Relax, brother. Brother, Sister Risa says, say it, Brother C. Say it, Brother C. I'm trying, Sister Risa. Well, I got you guys in here, man. You guys help me. Brother Nugo said, you're right. I'm going to check that book out. Yeah, check it out, man, when you can, man. But make sure you get it from the nation, man. Don't get it from nowhere else, man. Because these other places that get it other than the nation, they've twisted a few things out of it. Me and another brother found that out when we actually ordered the book from someplace else. And we was like, wait, we compared my book and that book. We're like, wait a minute, this is not the same, right? So make sure you order it from the nation, brother. You're going to get the authentic book. All right, so where we at, y'all? I thought I was telling y'all a story. I was telling y'all a story, right? Oh man, I forgot the story out there. I got off the track. But anyway, yeah. Being healthy, Black men being healthy. Oh yeah, we don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to go into the doctor's office and be vulnerable, right? Because when we walk in the doctor's office, now you have to be vulnerable. Do we really want to be vulnerable as Black men? No. You don't have a chance to be vulnerable as a Black man, right? Other Black men will call you a simp. Women won't want to be with you. They'll think you're weak. You don't really have an opportunity to be vulnerable. Not in public, at least, definitely not in public. I mean, if you're heterosexual, if you're homosexual, you can do that. But if you're heterosexual, a natural man, when I say natural, I mean a natural man is able, willing, and interested in women. Then hey, you don't get a chance to be vulnerable, right? The women will attack your masculinity. The men will attack your masculinity. You internally will attack your own masculinity if you feel like you're weak. You will say to yourself, I don't deserve this woman because I'm not up to a cult standard. We are a mess, man. We are a mess. Black men, we are a mess. Brothers, we need to really Shout out to the black men, man. Shout out to the black men of America, man. We are a mess. We need to really come together, man. We really need to come together, get it together, and make it okay to think about estate planning. Marcus, y'all too, Latino brothers, y'all the same situation, man. Y'all don't estate plan like you supposed to either. Shout out to brother Marcus. Y'all don't estate plan either. So get on over here, Marcus, and listen to this. Y'all don't estate plan. Y'all, none of y'all don't go to the doctor, right? Our Latino brothers they have the same issues: the high blood pressure, the salt, the sugar, the diabetes, the high blood pressure, the kidney issues. They have all the same issues. But why are we not going to the doctor? Because we scared. How can we get over this scarce? How can we get over being scared? Love. What, Brother Clarence? Love. Do you love your family? I do, brother. I love my wife. I love my children. Okay, well, you're going to have to love them enough to go to the doctor at least once a year or once every other year. You're going to have to. If you don't go to the doctor, see what happens is, like any other situation, if you neglect it, I told my son one time, I said, hey, I said, the backyard needs to be cut. You need to cut the grass. See, I used to cut all the grass. But when I got, had some health challenges, my son took over. My baby boy took over. Right? So I think he had gotten into school. He had got accepted to college, but he's still living there, right? But I said, hey, brother, just because you're in school don't mean that, you can't take care of that. You got to take care of that. He said, yeah, man, no problem. I said, okay. So I said, hey, the grass is ankle high. I said, it's getting ankle high. I said, you need to jump out there and get it now. I got a trampoline out there for my other son, plus the trampoline is for my granddaughter, right? They get to jump, they go out there and they jump on it, right? I said, well, brother, the grass is getting too high for them to go out there and handle it. I mean, it's going to get there. I said, what you need to do is you need to go out there and cut that grass. It's ankle high now. You need to cut it. All right, man, I'm going to do it. Okay. Another week or so go by. I said, now it's knee high. I said, this grass is knee high now. I said, you need to cut it. Oh, I'm going to do it. Now it was up to the waist. It was waist high now. I said, okay, brother, that's it. I said, now you forcing me to get out here and do it. And I got to get out here and do it. No, you ain't got to do it. I said, okay. Another week went by. I said, no, that's it. I just had to do it myself. And of course, he came out there and helped me. I was going to do it. I said, okay. I said, well, I cut this half. You cut that half. But what's my point? He let it get out of hand. He let it get so far out of hand, man. You didn't see where the dog poop was or nothing. You didn't see nothing what was going on out there. I couldn't have my granddaughter going out there. The tall dude, grass was taller than her. That wasn't going to happen. And I get tired of telling him that she can't go back, telling her she can't go back there. But what my point is, that's how we as black men do. We let stuff get out of hand. Y'all too, Marcus. We let stuff get out of hand. Latin brothers let stuff get out of hand too, right? I'm talking about as far as our health is concerned, right? Let's see what Marcus said. Marcus said, it's true. I see your point. Sometimes the insurance don't cover it, and some are illegal documented. The ones that are super expensive. A lot of Hispanic Latino communities go to doctors across the border, etc. I hear that, man. I get that, Marcus. That's the issue that you guys got to deal with. I admit that. That's true. So, but still, you got to do what you got to do, right? I mean, however you got to go get seen, you got to get seen, right? At least after you get to age 40, you need to be getting seen like once a year, at least once every other year. When you get to 50, once a year. You need to go once a year, man. You need to make sure everything, and any little thing you see different, any changes you see, your feet getting big, your hands getting big, you need to be running to the doctor to find out what's going on. Because that's telling you something's not right. Something's not right. But who knows? Did Kevin see anything that wasn't right that he felt, I told you guys in the beginning of the story, in the beginning of this live stream, that I had a headache that was killing me, man, for a month. I thought it was just a headache. I thought, man, I just got a head cold. They tried to put the thing on me to try to take my pressure markers. It just kept popping up. And pop, and pop, and pop. Finally, somebody had to come and hold it. You know my blood pressure was? Go look this up. Go ask your doctor what kind of blood pressure this is. 252 over 230 something, 236 or something like that, right? You ask any doctor, they're going to say you're dead. Your blood pressure would never get that high. You'd be dead. You stroking out at about 200, 210. You stroking out. 252? The normal person would have been dead. But what's my point? My point is that I had put that off for so long till I had a real serious issue. My wife kept telling me to go to the doctor, go to the doctor, go to the doctor. I kept, yeah, I will. I gotta go now. but back then I was like, oh no. Why? Because we scared. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that, I need to talk to you. Do you got a minute? Or that you get that phone call. We need to talk to you immediately. You need to come into the office. We need to talk to you immediately. Right? Who wants that phone call, right? Marcus said, them seasoned foods, man, those tacos and those spicy food, some come with high cholesterol food too. Damn good. I know it's good, Marcus. That's why you gotta watch the way you cook it. Like that's yesterday I made some fajitas, man. Real low low oil, everything. Some fajitas, man, real healthy with the vegetables and everything in there. Not real healthy. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta cook your own food, brother. You gotta cook your own food. That's the thing. That's the key. The key to surviving is making sure you get the right kind of nutrition and supplementation. Because I'm gonna tell you guys, you are not going to make it make it out of this thing alive. So the only thing you're trying to make sure is you don't live in severe pain and severe, like Brother New Growth was saying earlier, severe case of paralysis, where somebody got to wheel you around everywhere, right? Or your hands are stuck in the Fred Sanford, the arthritis grip, right? You don't want that. You want to be able to walk, and you want to be able to use a bathroom when you want to use a bathroom, and you don't want that. You don't want to get to that point until you're 90 years old, if you make it to 90 years old. What kind of life are you living if you're restricted to a chair and you can't move and you can't do anything? And while now I'm not saying there's people that have accidents and it happens to them. Okay, that's a different situation. I'm talking about us while we know. My grandmother doctor told her 10 years before it happened, she said, my grandmother's doctor said, if you continue smoking, my grandmother was a diabetic, and she looked healthy. She was very healthy looking. She said, if you continue to keep smoking, you're gonna have to amputate one of your limbs. And my grandmother stopped smoking for about 3 weeks. But it's hard to quit smoking, right? Hard to quit smoking. So she went back to smoking, picking it back up. Almost about 10 years to the day. She had a stroke. Amputate the right leg. Never the same. Never the same. Guess what happened? Had to go into a nursing home. Well, my mother couldn't stop working and sit with her. I was in college. My brother was just a little fella. Nobody, there was nobody who could sit with her. She had to go to the nursing home. She couldn't talk. She could only move her left arm. She could only move. This was the only limb she could move. So mother made the tough decision to put her in a nursing home. Now me, I don't know about y'all, Marcus, but I don't think y'all are like this, because it seemed like our Latin brothers and sisters, they ain't really in the nursing homes like that. They may have a couple here and there, but they ain't into nursing homes like that. Like, but some kind of way, me as black people, we picked up that bad habit, putting people in nursing homes, right? Put her in a nursing home. She was never the same after that. Never the same. It wasn't even though she was, I mean, she didn't have no time where she smiled or nothing no more. I think my grandmother was probably not even 60. I don't think she was even 60 when this happened. About a month later, they came to us and said, hey, we got to take her other leg. What? We got to take her other leg. Because she's still smoking. She's still smoking. Because they were still buying her cigarettes. And in the nursing home, they would steal her cigarettes. People would just walk in the room and steal her cigarettes. And she would try to tell us, because she couldn't talk no more. She could still think and understand. She could hear you and understand you. She just could not respond normally speaking. She couldn't hold a pencil or write no paper or nothing. She couldn't do none of that. So, the only way we had to give her the smile, check this out. This is a person that lived a whole life, raised children, did so much, right? My grandmother was smart. My grandmother was smart, man. I mean, like the crossword puzzles that you buy at the grocery store or something. My grandmother had books of those things done. Books of them done. I'm not talking about, there wasn't no internet back then. We talking about the mid-'80s. Wasn't no internet. This is, I say the mid-'80s. Yeah, mid-'80s. Early 90s. Because I think she passed away after my father. So we talk about the early 90s probably. Yeah. She was smart, man. This lady was smart. I mean, she would have stacks of, you get her book, she would say, buy me a crossword puzzle when you go to the store. Okay. So I buy her these crossword puzzles. The book of crossword puzzles, the big book, give it to her that day. By the end of the week, done. She was smart. And to see her get reduced to a situation where she couldn't even talk, she didn't have no will. She had, now I admit, she didn't have much to administrate, but still, she didn't have a will. Black people just not into getting estate planning, right? Because they feel like, a lot of times we feel like, oh, it's a you call in the spirits for something to happen. Man, it's not that you call in the spirit to nothing to happen. You just try to take care of business in case something do happen. Maybe something is gonna happen, right? Brother New Growth, we have to recalibrate our taste buds. 21 days should do it. But you're right, Brother Clarence. It's almost impossible for me to eat out. Yeah, man, I try not to. I'm not gonna be no self-righteous person, Brother New Growth. Sometimes I do slip and do it, especially when I'm here and I'm working and I get caught up and I forget, like I should have brought them heaters with me, but I left them for them to eat. Because Brother New Growth, let me tell you something, brother. So I'm fixing these fajitas, right? And so my son is over my shoulder. You know, my son, my 20-year-old, my baby boy is over my shoulder. Hey, Dad, maybe you should add some water. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. I'm telling him, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. I got this. All right. Because I'm just saying, you know, maybe you put too much of this or that. I said, man, look, I got this. Just relax, right? So they was acting like, oh, well, we ain't gonna eat this, man. It's all spicy. It's too spicy because I use the cumin and all these other spices, right? Oh, we ain't gonna eat that, man. The smell is. I said, no, you just haven't smelled these spices all together. I said, this fine. Don't worry about it. Relax. All right, bruh. Him and my other son. My other son comes, the gangster comes, and I mean, they demolish them fajitas, man. Demolish them. I said, dog. I said, where'd all this fajita mix go? Boy said, are you kidding? Them two dudes tore that up. I got one son that don't eat meat, so he didn't eat it. But the other two, chicken fajitas. Just like that, gone. But you're right, New Growth. I have used that formula 21 days. I have gotten off of soda doing that. I have gotten off of beef doing that. I've gotten off of a lot of different things doing that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a good formula, and it's good for almost anything. 21 days is a good fasting off of anything. It will help your taste buds recalibrate. Will help your mind clear up. It will help. That's a good thing. And I always tell men, if you're gonna marry a woman, you're thinking about marrying somebody, before you marry this woman, the first thing you need to do, no, not the first thing, but one of the things you need to do before you actually sign on a dotted line is put her through a cleanse. Maybe 21 days, maybe 30 days. But she needs a detoxification, especially if she's been sexually active before she met you. You need to have that cleanse in her so that you can clean her out, so she can clean out. The reason why a lot of times, in my opinion, women have a lot of issues is because they have so much essence from different men in their system, and the battle to stay on top of that situation, their body has to deal with it. The different things their body have to do to try to stay on top of that situation is difficult. So it creates tension and stress in the body to try to stay on top. And you got one man's essence in you, and you got another man's essence in you, and your body's trying to stay on top of this stuff. That may be difficult. That may cause confusion, because a woman is only supposed to have one man's essence in her at a time. Here's another one, man. New Growth. You're making me dig into my bag, man. And I'm trying to dig into my bag, man. And you making me dig into my bag. You're making me dig, man. But hey, brother, I'm just trying to show, if you want a woman to follow your program all the way, then if she really loves you, she will have no problem doing the cleanse. She won't have no problem with it. Now, I'm not saying she won't ask no question. Well, why you want me to do this? Why? I'm not saying she ain't gonna ask. I mean, you know, especially if you got a woman that's in any kind of intelligence, you should expect that she's gonna ask you questions, right? But overall, she should say, well, hey, if this is what I got to go through to get to you, then that is no problem. I will do that. That is no problem, right? It's no problem. See, a lot of women just don't understand that one right there. A lot of men don't understand that one. A lot of men be like, why should she have to do that? So you think that when a woman has sexual encounter with a man and he leaves his essence in her, all of it comes out? All of it comes out as waste? Not all of it. Just like you can get a a vaccine, and the vaccine is a small dose of the harmful germ, and your body is just enough for the germ for your body to make a antigen of it that will deal with it. The same thing with men's essence. Not all of the men's essence will be excreted from the body as waste. Some of it will be absorbed and kept on file. Okay, well, it's still in the body somewhere. What you need to, and so your body is the woman's body is always having to calibrate for that extra essence there. This is a lot of time why they get a lot of headaches and they have a lot of confusion because they have different different instructions flying through their heads, right? If you got male essence sends the female brain instructions. This is what's going on. I'm here now. This is what's going on. But now you got one set of instructions coming in, and then you got another set of instructions going there. Ouch. Let's say it's 5 or 6 different sets of instructions. Is that liable to cause some confusion, family? Family, is that liable to cause some confusion? If you had 7 people talking to you at the same time, giving you instructions, would that be confusing? Imagine a female body that's getting all these instructions from all these different essences of men's essence that have been left in her. That's why what you want to do is you want to have the cleanse. So the cleanse cleans out all of that stuff, right? Now when all that stuff is out, the only essence available is yours. There won't be no confusion. There won't be no rebelliousness. It won't be there. Because you've gotten rid of everything else that was given ulterior instructions than the instructions that your essence is going to give her. Bruh Clarence, man, what you talking about, Bruh Clarence? Bruh Clarence, leave us alone. Let us just go out here and have casual sex. Okay, brother, it's up to you. I'm just telling you, when you get to the point where you actually you see woman as a prospect to give you heirs to your wealth, no matter how much it is, you see this woman as a person to give you heirs and help you raise heirs to your throne. What you're going to want to do is have her get a cleanse, get that stuff out. I mean, if you can convince her to do it. If not, hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? But best thing to do is cleanse, man. If you ever been through a cleanse, I've been through several cleanses, and you feel so good, like the day of, by the last day, you feel so good. You feel so good, man. You feel so good. Feel like you can jump through the gym, right? You ain't sluggish no more. Your eyes start opening up. Your vision gets better, right? Right, New Growth? Your vision gets better. Oh man, I mean, it's you just feel so much better. But we as black men, we won't even go to the herb man to get a cleanse. We won't even go to the herb man to get a cleanse. Right? We should get a cleanse at least once a year. We should. If you're able to. When I say you able to, I mean you're not on a doctor's program to because I'm not a doctor, but I think that you must. What I do say is you must supplement. I don't care if you're a vegan. I don't care if you're vegan, if you're eating meat, whatever you eating. And if you're eating food that's made in America, you have to supplement. You have to give yourself the supplement, the nutrition that is lacking in the food. Because most of the food is not nutrition rich. right? Most of our food is nutrition poor. And most of us, we're starving ourselves to death. But Clarence, I'm full, I'm eating. Yeah, I know, but it's just what you said on the surface. You actually eating food that's you malnourished. You're not eating food that has a lot of nutrition in it. And so what you're doing, you're actually starving yourself to death. But Clarence, I'm big. I'm blowing up. Blah, blah. That's the sugar and the salt. You're just retaining water. You don't have the necessary uh 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 nutrition to for your body to naturally deal with all the foods that you eating. So instead, what's happening is you're retaining the water because your body don't know when it's gonna need the water, so it starts retaining this water and starts retaining the sugar. It don't you eating so much sugar. Okay, let's talk about sugar. Since we're talking about living, let's talk about sugar. Okay. There's two types of sugar. There's natural sugar and unnatural sugar, right? Natural sugar comes in the form of apples, oranges, you know, things that grow on trees that are full of sugar, that have sugar. But those are natural sugars, meaning that the body knows exactly what to do with those sugars and how to dispose of them and how to use some parts of it and dispose of the rest. Yeah, brother, I take B12 too, brother New Growth. Absolutely. Sister Glenda said processed foods make you sick and give you cancers and diseases. Unfortunately, Sister Glenda, a lot of foods give you those things. If the food is made in America, that's why you have to supplement. You have to supplement. Yes, you want to eat things that you feel like taste good. Not you personally, Sister Glenda, you know that, but I'm just saying we as Black people, we want to eat things that taste good, but at the same time, after you have to we have to supplement our diets so that we can get the right nutrition that we need to survive, to continue to expel this bad food out of our system, even though we ate it and we've been taught to eat this way. The more we try to wean our way off of it, but we still need the nutrition that we need so that our body can actively properly digest it and get rid of it as waste, right? But what happens? We start to retain water. Once you start see, you think you big, right? I'm big, but you actually dehydrated. You're actually dehydrated. Your body is retaining the water because we don't know when you're going to drink some more water. So let's try to get as much water out of you as it can and store it. Same thing with the sugar. Just starts putting it wherever it can. The unnatural sugars, the body doesn't know how to deal with unnatural sugars. Shout out to Dr. Sabi. Body doesn't know how to deal with unnatural sugars. So what does it do? It just pushes them into when it can't handle it no more, it just pushes them into the extremities. That's why you see these people with these big fat heads. I saw Kevin with these, look like these clown heads. I said, what is going on with this man? Is he okay? But I blew it off because the rest of him looked healthy. So I said, I blew it off. But he didn't know me from Adam. But I should have shot him. What would have been? I should have shot him an email. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Well, I'm always honest, but I'm gonna tell it like how I think it. I don't think he would have listened to me. I don't think he would have listened to me. I think because I thought, and that's what I thought. I thought he would never listen to me. The guy probably gets 1,000 emails every day. How's he gonna find mine? Right? How's he gonna find my email and then be able to work with it? So I left him. I didn't say anything to him. But I never in a million years thought that he would be pulling up at this point. Never thought that. Shout out to Brother Kevin, man. I never thought, I didn't always agree with him, but I never thought that he would be checking out at this stage of the game. Right? But I feel bad that I never sent that email. I could have sent him an email saying, hey, brother, those Red Bulls might be a little much, right? All that caffeine on your heart. Yeah, caffeine makes your heart pump harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. And then you start retaining water. You start pumping, your heart starts pumping, even have to work even harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. Oh, who knows? Maybe he was on some type of meds and he wasn't taking his meds. I know he wasn't exercising because he didn't look like a dude that exercised. What you mean, Clarence? He didn't look like a guy that exercised. I mean, he didn't look like a guy that was exercising on a regular basis. Guys that exercise on a regular basis move a little different. They move a little quicker. They snap. They snap when they move, right? You see me, I'll be dragging around, man, because I ain't exercising like I used to. I used to pop when I moved, right? Pop, pop, right? I'm getting there. I'm working on it, right? But the point is, our dear brother's gone, man. And so many other people unexpectedly. Bob Marley, unexpectedly. Michael Jackson, unexpectedly. Amy Winehouse, unexpectedly. Who else? Tupac, unexpectedly. Right? MLK, unexpectedly. People just die unexpectedly, man. You think it happened, right? But what is the saying about us as Black people? We just will not take care of business, man, on some of these things. Brother Negro said, I know he said he was a cancer survivor. Yeah, he was. He was. He had cancer when he was young, when he was a young man. But that should have told him, hey, man, you got to still check in, man. If you had a serious issue like that, you got to always be checking in. And you damn sure can't be dealing with them Red Bulls, man. No. We all got something we got to stop doing. So I'm not making him a bad guy for that. I'm just saying, the Red Bulls, man, we knew that is those things, man. I mean, you can drink one a week or something like that, but you can't drink them every day. They're just not, your body's not physically able to deal with that. All that caffeine every day. Unregulated. Man. Caffeine is that type of stuff. Caffeine is you're supposed to put that on the other end to help you get stuff out that's clogged. That's what really caffeine is for. Oh no, Clarence! Now you're talking crazy. That's what caffeine is for. You're not supposed to drink coffee. You're supposed to be putting it on the other end. But hey, that's okay. That's a whole nother thing. I don't want to set Starbucks, have Starbucks cease and desist, be a cease and desist order. Anyway, y'all. I think I'm gonna end it right here, man. I think I said enough to try to motivate us, those of us, to do better, man. Eat better. You want to eat better. You want to exercise more. Go to the doctor, black man. Black man, go to the doctor. Black women, go to the doctor. Black man, go to the doctor. You're not going to the doctor, and this is what's going to happen to you. This is what's going to happen to you. You know what they say about heart disease? A silent killer. It's a silent killer. You don't even know what's going on till it's going on. Right? You don't even know what happened till you wake up in the hospital 2 days later. What happened? Where am I? What am I doing in the hospital? You had a heart attack. What? Yeah. Yeah. And it can happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere. Black man, go to the hospital. Get checked out. If you over 30 years old, you need to be going at least once every 4 or 5 years. If you're over 40 years old, you need to be going at least once every other year. If you're over 50 years old, you need to be going at least once a year. Let them poke you, prod you, take a look at you, pull you, whatever they got to do, stick you, whatever. And then let them tell you what the issue is. And then same here, brother New Growth. Always a pleasure, my brother. Thank you. And if you got it, whatever the issue is, then go take care of the issue. You say you love your family. You say you love your children. Let the love bring you into that doctor's office. Let love bring you into the doctor's office. Let love take you into a estate planning office. Let love take you in there and get your business straight. Get your business straight, because I don't know if Brother Kevin's business was straight. Hopefully it was. Hopefully it was. But his passing, his untimely passing, can open the conversation up for what we need to do. What we need to do. Because typically, I just think white people are more on it than us. Shout out to them. They're just more on it than us, man. They look at, they understand that, paperwork is the key to just about everything in America. And if you don't have the right paperwork in place, it's going to be hard for your family to try to get anything out of it, right? And if they do, they're going to get what's left. If you have your estate set up properly, it'll seamlessly move over to your children. The bulk of your estate will seamlessly move over to whoever, your beneficiaries. But if you don't have your stuff set up, guess who's going to execute your wishes? The state. The state is going to execute your wishes. First comes the taxes. First comes the taxes. Then come the lien holders. Then come all other bills. And guess what? Your attorney's going to put that bill in there too. Right? When they know the estate is paying for it, that bill's going to get real high. It's going to get real high. All right, shout out to all of y'all, man. I appreciate all of y'all that came through, man, on a Tuesday night, man. Only thing I can say is, like I said, go to the doctor, man. Go to the doctor. Even if you doing good, like New Growth, he's vegetarian. Vegan. Good. I mean, that's good. That's good. And that's going to give him, he probably added on a whole bunch of years to his life for doing that. But those of us that haven't got there yet, that's working on it, that's on their way, you got to go to the doctor. You got to go to the doctor. Got to go to the doctor, man. If not, look at Kevin. Look at Kevin. I would bet a lot of money that he hadn't been to the doctor since he went viral. Now you look at this man. He's working. Thank you, Risa. He was working 5 days a week, approximately 4 or 5 hours a night. We don't even know what he was doing in the daytime, right? But I would be a safe bet to say it wasn't working out. If he just worked out 1 hour a day, he'd probably still be here. But did he do that? I doubt it. On top of drinking Red Bull, on top of probably not having the best diet in the world. Why? Because you ain't got no wife there cooking for. I got a wife cooking for me. I can tell my wife, that's not work. That you can't. I can't have that. Or I only give me this much, or you know what I'm saying? Can't work all them hours and then try to feed yourself and then try to do this and then try to do that. You can't do that. I mean, you can do it. Let me say, it's not that you can't do it. It's just the only question is, when are you going to expire from doing that? When are you going to fall on your face flat out? I mean, pass out, not totally expire, but I mean, pass out from that strenuous lifestyle. We got to think about our families. Our families need us. Black men, our families need us. Our families need to be, we need to protect them if we can. If we can, we need to protect them. You have any assets and you want to make sure that your family gets your assets and not the government. The government gets the least amount. Please make a will. Please make a will. Please go to an estate planner and try to get yourself, get your estate set up so where in case something does happen to you, everybody knows where everything is. Everybody knows, and try to videotape yourself for the will. Say, I want this. This is what I want to have happen. This is where I want it to go. So on and so forth. All right, y'all. Today, the only person who was on the stream was me. I put the link out there, but I think y'all wanted to hear what I had to say. So shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all for listening. Everybody in the chat, you guys came through strong as usual. Like I said, I'd rather have 5, strong people in my chat than 300 knuckleheads or 300 mixed nuts all over the place. You know what I mean? So, shout out to y'all. And we just gonna keep taking this message until, we finally get to a point where the people understand what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. Next stream going to be on Thursday. Probably be in the morning time. Probably be like around 10, 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. All right? All right, see y'all in these streets, man. Y'all take care.